You only played it for a day.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? And that's not true. I played my PC a lot, so I don't know.
I said console.
I know
I
you
never
said
said
console, but
platform guy.
but
PC's
everything
not a console.
it doesn't matter. Everything's in competition with each other. So what the fuck does it matter? If I was playing a Game Boy from 1942, is still competition, isn't it? Still taken away from the other products.
No, it's not because they don't make any more games.
Oh
But
my
it's
god!
okay.
All right,
I gotta.
okay.
I have some stuff to
All right.
to touch on with that.
Everything
I like your
touches
shirt,
everything.
Man. That's a cool shirt.
Everything is competition.
But,
Luke Skywalker, baby.
Right? You like it? I just got it. I got this in Florida, I think.
So, it's Christmas out.
Right? It's all clean and shit.
Fucking orange leather.
Jose's like cleaning up his house now, rearranging shit.
You gotta turn on the AC. Stop. Stop. It's a little warm.
It's hot in there. Shit gets hot.
But all right. Quiet, everyone. And welcome to the VideogamesXlife podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Games. Joining us again, we have Jose and AutoCAD, or El Torrente and AutoCAD, aka Dakota and Jose. And joining us from...
Did you say my real name?
I think I did. And coming from the illustrious Idiot Ezra Podcast, we have Ezra and Marvin. How you guys doing tonight?
Terrible. I am shitting my life out, and but I'm here.
Yeah, I heard you were sick. I'm glad you made it though. I appreciate that.
My boy tested negative. Don't forget it. All right.
Yeah, I said you had the bitch flu. You didn't get that manly COVID. You know, you got that regular bitch flu.
Listen.
He got the OG flu. He got the
When you-
Oh,
OG.
the OG.
When-
Okay, fine.
When you got diarrhea for 5 days, I think it's more than just a bitch flu.
Oh, that's
all
true.
right?
That's some manly shits right there.
Cheap
Now-
though. Good thing you got a bidet.
Oh,
Amazing. Yeah, it is so clutch right now. Oh my god.
right?
Yo, a bidet at the beginning of the pandemic was fucking fire, bro. It still is.
What?
Well,
That
I've had it
shit's-
for 3 years now. Strong. I've had a bidet. So yes, I was laughing about this this low stock of toilet paper.
Toilet
I'm like,
paper
these,
for the for
these peasants. These
exactly.
savages.
Exactly. Oh, you guys still wipe? I feel like a savage whenever I go somewhere without a bidet now.
Mad
Oh, my
crusty
God.
ass. Shit is anyway.
I feel crazy. Like, oh my god, look at these.
I would
look
like
how
to
these
thank you
people
for
live.
inviting us to the show. That's what I want to say.
Oh shit. Literally.
Oh, man. Douglas alumni. What's up with you fellas, man?
Life is taking an ass whooping to me, but I'm breathing and walking, so life is good. We're gonna still prevail. And I don't know why I'm referring to myself as we, but that's how I do it. Everything's good. Still in New York. Wish I was still in the Upper West Side, but that's extremely expensive. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, none of us
No.
are over there anymore because I'm over in Queens. You know, Jose, you've been up in Harlem, so
Yeah.
and AutoCAD over here has never lived in Manhattan, so
Right.
but he
Yeah,
did grow up in
man.
the Bronx, so he has some hood in him for sure.
Oh shit, yo, Dave, where in the Bronx did you grow up? I didn't know that.
Oh no. Crotona Park. I went to school around there. I mean, I I lived on Burnside for a while. I
Okay.
lived on Kingsbridge off of Fordham Road. I lived in really shitty places for a while. But I still
Okay,
love
so
it.
you were just a few years away from being like a coke dealer / rapper.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So listen, I legit like dodged shootouts when I was like 8. I remember I had to duck through a tunnel and shit in the middle of a shootout. So,
Oh my
no lie,
Jesus.
me
I've been
living in
through
the
shit like
Bronx
that.
too, because
Why?
I was actually raised in the Bronx for a lot of years. Gun Hill. Shout out to Hillside Project, which is now Eastchester Heights, because I love the rebrand.
Chester Heights.
Yes, leaving from Evander High School, I remember there was a shooting right across the street. And the funny part is, growing up in the Bronx, I didn't duck or anything. I was just there watching, like, oh, someone just got popped on, and just kept it moving, walking home. This is like at 12 years old, coming from high school, so that's 13 years, 14 years old.
Jeez.
It's wild out there, man.
Yeah,
And then I
man.
went to school in Manhattan as well. So I went to school in the Bronx, Manhattan, and then finally
You went to school in Manhattan? Where in Manhattan?
the Professional Performing Arts School in 46.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now he's a podcaster. Makes sense.
Not a podcast. Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's performing arts. He's performing on the podcast.
Alicia Keys and Britney Spears went to my high school.
Oh.
Oh.
You still got their numbers?
Was that?
You still
So
got their
yo,
numbers?
You lost a
Well,
chance.
Just missed it.
Oh wow, you really are. If you're doing a podcast with us,
I was
you really
busy.
messed
I was
it,
busy
alright.
podcasting with real celebrities out here. Okay.
you always got these people that'll take that real serious and be like, "What? You went to the same school? Yo, introduce me."
Right? Like, what the fuck you think?
Yo, that means you must know Britney Spears, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. We walk in the same hallways. I might have sat in the same fucking science class chair.
You could have saved her career post marrying Swiss Beats. Like, come on, man. Now she's been she hasn't been the same since then. Married.
Word.
Any day Alicia Keys wants to bring those cankles over to me, I will gladly accept.
Oh yeah.
Love them.
Yo, Atacat, that background, that looks crazy.
A little studio here.
Yeah.
No, man.
What is that? Is that like, I can't tell if that's for real or not. I'm looking at this shit like, did he just?
That's my sip. I got a few amps.
Okay.
Lights here.
I picked up, you picked up playing guitar and you got the most official equipment ever.
Nah, yeah. When I do something, I go full throttle. I don't half-ass it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't settle. I don't like to settle. So
Man, that basement got a lot bigger. Huh? That's what I know.
it's about the same size. Man.
You know, the light makes it look different.
Oh, that's
lights,
true. That's true.
Shiny surfaces. You know what I'm saying? You know, camera
I
angles.
got ray tracing in this room right now.
It's like porn, man. The angles, everything.
Word, your shit look like a Miles Morales cutscene.
Yeah. I
Oh,
wish it was in a
shit.
fucking studio. I'd lose my mind.
So, how was everybody's week?
Great.
Is that all?
Yeah, I guess. Work bullshit. What about you guys?
I mean, I've already shared my experiences for the past 5 days, so it hasn't been great.
Yeah, Mars been suffering, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
a lot of sleeping, I'll tell you that much.
I can get your rest in.
Adulting is exhausting. You're like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna speak for men here. Usually it's a pain in the ass to even just book a doctor's appointment. I was like, it took me like 4 days to actually just set up a doctor's appointment for a checkup. And I was trying to set up my vaccine, couldn't get no damn appointments. I was just trying to adult all week, and it felt like it was impossible to do anything.
I hear you.
Hey, to set up a doctor, you don't just have a mic chart, and I just go to mic chart and.
Well, that's what's funny. I was thinking about things like MyChart and ZocDoc. Like all that shit became like real doctor. Like it took it back to like the fucking 90s where you had to wait like mad long because of everybody was using it once the fucking pandemic hit.
Yeah, that's true.
So this shit
Everyone's online
became
now.
like fucking crazy.
The wait times were always semi-decent for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate booking doctors. What is it about booking doctor's appointments that just sucks? Something about it just isn't.
I guess you don't want to I don't know, maybe it's me. I just don't want to find out if it's real.
Yeah. As long as I don't find out, it can't hurt me.
And I feel like the older I get, because we're around the same age, it's like, this is getting tougher and tougher to just book this damn doctor's appointment and hear what she got to say.
Wait till you're after 40 and you have that
I say
10
she
year.
because my doctor's a she, so.
Yeah.
It's like legit, like, fuck, I might actually have to really cut out bacon this time, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, the medical term is obese, so I mean, don't take it too. I'm like, I got it, bro. Don't worry, I got it.
I get it.
Yeah, we're at that age where like a bacon, egg, and cheese could kill us, and that sucks because that's like such a huge part of just every day.
Right.
So now you got to worry about like cholesterol. It's like fuck, this shit this shit's real. Like,
And then you hit after 40, and then you got to get the whole poke in the butt from the doctor if you want to make sure. Like I remember when my father hit 50, he was like, "No more finger in the ass for me." I was like, "Okay."
Yo, that's hilarious.
Because it's only between 40 and 50 for prostate cancer apparently. So once you hit 50, that's it. It's over, baby.
Science has had to like advance far enough that there's got to be a better method.
I thought by now it still doesn't exist yet. Right?
They
It's
just
like-
low key like keeping that shit.
Right? Like nah.
Nah. Some things are old fashioned. Keep it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's we guess we can move on to the news. There's some things last few weeks that have been happening. A lot of like dumb shit as you heard earlier. I was mentioning, I was already recording, by the way, so some of that conversation was caught, but yeah, Sony's been doing a bunch of dumb shit, and yeah, we're gonna do a little dive deeper, but yeah, so apparently, if you haven't already heard, Sony's doing that whole, you know, their stock, they got rid of like their whole Studio Japan. A lot of those guys went out to create their own studios and stuff like that, because now they only want to focus on AAA games. And then Twitter was like freaking blowing up because fucking now they announced or a report came out, you know, from Bloomberg. Good old Schreier came out with a report saying that what is it, that Last of Us is going to be remade, and you know, and then their whole move to AAA. So everyone was freaking out because we don't really need a Last of Us a remake. We already got the remaster. Remake should be, you know, PS7 or some shit. You know, we don't need that shit now. So I kind of agree with that. I think that was dumb. I mean, are y'all ready for a Last of Us remake, or is that a little too soon?
You gotta realize it was supposed to be like the Last of Us remake, but with the controls of the Last of Us Part 2. So it's like it's the same story, but it would play differently.
I see. I mean, I'm not saying, I was talking about this with Pfeffer. I'm like, don't get me wrong. It's gonna look fire. It's gonna sound amazing. It's gonna be dope. I'm not saying it's whack. I just don't think anybody wants that right now. I mean, with all the shit, you know,
Maybe,
like.
do you think it has something to do with the show or movie they're creating?
Well, yeah,
The pushes,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, I think
type
so.
of push.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what it is. That it's gonna coincide with the show or the movie, whatever.
It ain't had nothing to do with the show. What happened was, I think it's Studio San Diego. They got a specific group that their only job is like to help out other studios finish their games. So there was a guy that had like a 30-man group that he wanted to be another studio. So he figured the easiest way for them to get some kind of like visibility would be to do like a remake. So he thought it was either like an Uncharted remake or The Last of Us. And seeing as The Last of Us is newer, he thought The Last of Us would be easier. And that's how that came about.
Yeah, I mean, but Sony still has to okay all that stuff. And didn't they take that? I don't know if it's the same studio, but didn't they move people from Sony Bend who wanted to do what's it called?
Sony Bend was to finish the Last of Us Part 2 that was delayed.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't dumb that they broke apart a little bit because I know that what was it? The people who made Days Gone, they wanted the sequel, and instead of greenlighting the sequel, they took people from that team and moved it over to Naughty Dog or some shit like that.
The move was for The Last of Us Part 2 to get it back on track.
I see. I mean, that makes sense. Like I said, I think it's gonna be fire. I just don't. But I understand. I mean, I don't get upset at these things.
I don't think we need it.
Yeah,
sure.
I just don't think we need it right now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see other shit. I wouldn't have minded. Like, Uncharted could use a remake. That shit, the original Uncharted is kind of bland. You know, when you break it down, it's just, you know, cover, shoot, and, you know, move to the next area, shoot a little bit. 1 or 2. I mean, Part 2 was fire. Part 3, I never got into Part 3, but I know when they started doing more of the acrobatic shit, that was fire. But 1 could use, like, you know, retooling, if anything. But, you know, it is what it is.
That's kind of what makes me think that it might be true that, you know, it has something to do with the show, at least in the back of their minds. Kind of like, you know, this would gain a lot of traction due to the fact that they confirmed the show is going over the first game specifically. And that game is way, you know, for a few younger people, that game is kind of outdated.
I mean, it's true, I guess, at this point, right? Because when did it first drop? Was it 2011 or 20? Oh no, it's 2013, right? Yeah, it was 2013. Okay.
I don't know if it's outdated. I think they're just trying to capitalize.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Squeeze every last drop out of it, and just, you know. But
which
It's a smart business move, but overall, if you're asking me, I think most or probably all, there shouldn't be no damn remakes of any damn game or damn movie. Please give it a real reboot if you're going to, you know, create a new IP, or I mean, you know, create a new game in this franchise. I don't want to play Uncharted 1 all over again. I don't care if it plays a new way. Overall, it's gonna be the same story, same shit going on again. Give me a new Uncharted. Okay, give me a new Uncharted 5. That's what I need. I don't need Uncharted 1 again. I don't need that. I don't need any game part 1 again. Give me a nice refresh. It's 2021. Bring out some new shit out here. Okay, I just think so, and movies too. I'm not all entertainment.
Yeah, when it comes to movies, that shit's a fucking joke already. Like, I'm tired of hearing remakes. Like, unless you're doing like a whole different take on something that could be cool, I don't really want to fucking watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I would take a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. I will say.
That is true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna do, I feel like when games aren't, like, when it's not that it's unfeasible, but when it's a little harder on the eyes or harder, you know, when it's outdated controls, outdated engines, and all that, that's when I feel like a remake would be a little bit better to go about. But it's like, it still looks pretty good with the remaster. The remaster still looks pretty damn good. It's
yeah,
very
the remasters
playable.
where it could have ended right there, man. We didn't really need that to happen. Like, unless you're gonna launch it with like a PS5 Slim or some shit, and it's just gonna be like $20. Don't try to fucking bang us for like $60 for this shit
Or
too.
70, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that shit's corny to me, you know. And then the whole idea in general of what they're doing is fucking whack. Like, they want to kind of just stick to blockbuster games. So you're gonna see a whole lot of God of War, a whole lot of probably another Uncharted, definitely a Last of Us 3. You're gonna see all these huge titles, but you're not gonna see like cool risk-taking shit, you know?
Exactly, and that's what made me sad about Japan Studios being let go, because yeah, I mean, you know, I know that the, you know, things like you know, like The Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus have their audience. You know, it's like, it's a little sad that those guys who were like legends, and you know, even the original director of Silent Hill, you know, left Sony. And it's like, and then this would bring me to my other point, was the whole Kojima thing. There's been a rumor floating around that they're working with Xbox and with Stadia, and it's turning out it might be actually true that Sony turned them down because what you call it, the hell's the name of the game? Holy shit. Death Stranding, thank you. They didn't do millions and kabillion dollars, which I had a feeling. I was like, are they really gonna work with Kojima again if they're making this whole move? And then it turns out, yeah, because I know Death Stranding was very middling, and you know, I guess they didn't do the sales they thought it was gonna do, and so now they turned down to work, you know, directly with Kojima, which I think is kind of weird. Like, damn, really? He's moving on to Xbox supposedly. So let's see. I know they're like probably like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they're gonna give him whatever the fuck he wants, which I'm not too mad at, because I'm sure it's gonna come out on PC. So, you know,
I mean,
you know, but
I'll support that. I fuck with anything he does. If it looks good and it's something that I'm interested in, I'm gonna definitely do it. I doubt it'll be a Death Stranding sequel at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I doubt it. It's too soon for that, and I don't think it's gonna. It makes like you have a Sony exclusive with a sequel on a Xbox exclusive. That's some weird shit.
I mean, it's been done before, you know. Like, well, not, I guess not first party, but well, then again, I guess it's not really a first party game. It's just a console. I mean, it was just an limited exclusive deal. So it's, you know, it is on PC. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually does hit Xbox, unless that name belongs to Sony. Then that's up to them.
Nah, they just registered it for Kojima. They've done shit like that for other companies.
I see. All right.
Well, maybe this big AAA strategy now, maybe it's somewhat of an answer, or maybe they're trying to, you know, how can I say, build the fort a little stronger against Game Pass. It could be something along that strategy. I've also read there's rumors of, you know, because they bought, was it Crunchyroll, right? Sony bought Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I heard there's a potential that their answer to Game Pass is a package of their streaming services of like anime, movies, plus games. Like, you know, imagine, you know, PS Now times 3, but you get all these forms of entertainment in this Sony PlayStation ecosystem. And I'm guessing, you know, AAA, if you don't want to get Game Pass, you want the exclusives, right? You know, it's either one you're picking.
I mean, that makes sense. I can see that.
Consumer.
Because I can see that, like you say, instead of them, you know, making, even though there has been rumors about them making their own answer to Game Pass, which is, PS Now, I was looking at it the other day, and I mean, it has 800 games on it. You have like 400 PS3 games, and then, but PS4 games that you can download, there's like 400 of them. And I'm less, wow. You know, so it's like they don't have day and date, but, you know, they have, it is a solution if you're in that ecosystem. So I'm like, but it looks, maybe they just don't want to go that direction, you know, like to put their day and date on there, which, I mean, you know, that's understandable. I mean, like I said,
that would be wild though.
It would be. I mean, if they really did that, I mean, it depends on how big Game Pass gets. It may force their hand, but
well, they would have to do where their first party exclusives are, come included with the pass, and then like you own them into, in perpetuity with the pass, because they can't do like Microsoft and just put it on and then take it off in a couple of months and then you buy it if you want to.
But they only do that
It's
with
like
third party though. Microsoft is gonna leave their first party games there forever.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because like it's already double exclusive now. It's exclusive because you had to buy PlayStation to play it, and now you have to like get Game Pass, and that's asking for a lot. I think asking for a lot of money for technically the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting though.
But we already know Sony has their advantages when it comes to exclusives. So that's always,
Absolutely.
as at this point, that's their selling point. Like, you come to Sony because you love our first exclusive, our AAA games. Xbox has been lacking in that department for quite a long
way too
damn
long.
time.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's be real. Their only real killer has always been Halo. I know Gears had some shine, and there's a few games that had a few shine, but there's only one. And even now, Halo still spits. It still is a legendary franchise, but it still doesn't have its luster that it had back in the day.
It's true.
Yeah. hell
Xbox
yeah.
is lacking in that department, and Sony is like, we got the pieces over here, and Xbox I think is doing it the right way, because if you can't create AAA games, let's build, quantity over quality, and that's what they're doing with Game Pass. And everybody knows streaming services is what it is nowadays. So if you build that ecosystem for Game Pass, I think Microsoft is like, you know what, this is our play. That's why they're willing to work with Sony, these other consoles and all that, because I think one day they're going to say, we don't need a damn Xbox. Just use our cloud gaming. I think that's 10 years from now, 15 years from now, that's what they want to do.
100%. They already said they already
boom.
want to make a dongle like a Fire Stick, but that's a Xbox xCloud stick. They already want, and Amazon already got that. So if you buy an Amazon TV right now, well, I don't think it's has a wide release yet, but Amazon has their Luna streaming service, which I actually have. I got into the beta for that, and it's pretty fire. Not for nothing, it's not perfect, I'll give it that, but it is pretty fire. Where I just, no pun intended, because my kids have a Fire TV. I just, they needed one for their room, bought them like one of them little $99 or $120 like 32-inch TVs, and I went and you can play video games right there. I was playing freaking what was it? Assassin's Creed Valhalla right on their TV, and it loaded pretty damn well. I was like, holy shit, like that's the future, and I think that's what Xbox is gearing up to compete with. But until that, there's still latency and all that. So until that shit's perfect, like you said, 10 years, then yeah, I think we're gonna have that. But Sony, that's why PS Now exists, because they're already set up for everything. It feels like. It's like they set, they set up for everything, but they're not diving deep into anything except for their exclusives, because they know that's what's making their money. So, and now I don't know if you guys heard that now they're going into mobile as well, and their big names are supposed to be on mobile. It just feels very Konami-ish, which is kind of bothering me.
Yeah, that does kind of. It's exactly what it reminds me. It kind of feels like, fuck, man, Kojima, you can't catch a break, huh?
Right.
Dude's gonna have to create his own fucking console.
I mean, he had that idea for transferring. I think if he would have worked with Stadia, he could have did some dope shit with Stadia, because that was the other rumor. They changed their business model and turned them down as well, since now they're gonna focus on third party stuff, nothing in house anymore. Which I think Stadia's on its way out. I think they're gonna have whatever contracts they have for third party, and once they started giving away those Stadias, I don't know if you guys saw, I was trying to give away a Stadia for like a month. Nobody wanted that shit.
Yeah, we saw.
For real?
Yeah,
nobody wanted one.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I finally gave it away to somebody who like commented on one of the tweets. So I was like, fine, here, take it.
Probably did on accident. I had no idea.
You paid him to take it.
I'll give you
Just send him.
$50.
You should send him a note with the Stadia that says "Thank you."
I haven't sent it out yet. You know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
That's exactly. Thank you for taking this.
Because all the shit that Stadia fucking said, and it's not that great on Wi-Fi. It's all right when you have a Ethernet cable, but that defeats the purpose of what I feel like it should have been used for. You have a shitty laptop, that just surfs the web. You got Stadia, you can play games on the
Stadia's
go.
10 years early.
Yeah,
10 years.
Or
it's probably 10 years too early, and they didn't. Come on, Google. You got all this money. You didn't. Your heart wasn't behind it. Your money wasn't behind it.
Not at all.
You threw a few dollars at it, which is absolutely nothing for you. Probably a couple $100 million, You know, it's a drop in the bucket for them, and they just, you know, if you're gonna go into the gaming industry, you're gonna go try to crack, you know, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. You gotta go hard, and you gotta stay in
You need
for a long time.
epic money, and I don't know. I don't want to
Everybody's
get
trying
too.
to get a subscription service. That's all.
That's all. That's what it needed to be. It needed to be a $5. Hey, $5 a month, you get access to all these games. That's what they needed to do, and they didn't do that. And I think that was like their biggest fuck up, in my opinion.
But the thing is, where would they get the content from since they don't have any of their own?
Gotta pay
Well,
for
they had
licensing,
in-house.
yeah.
They had in-house studios. They didn't even give them a chance. They shut them all down. They had like 3 or 4 studios. They shut them all down. But they had in-house studios, and then they could have paid for the exclusives until they
tough.
like did Netflix style. Like Netflix had a
I was
bunch
gonna
of
say,
other
But you're not.
shit.
But that's losing money. Netflix is.
Gamespot.
Well, it's an investment, though.
I know it's investment, but the thing is, like I said, you got to stay in it
Right.
for the long term. So even if you're trying to create that Netflix style, Netflix has been losing money for 10 plus years. I don't know how many years now, you know, until even creating their own content just costs big time money. And Netflix was not going against anybody when they first started. Stadia is going up against multiple players in this space. So there's an advantage and a disadvantage at the timing they came in. And like you said, if the product and the internet is not at what you need it to be this, you know, this alternative gaming service on the go, yeah, you should have had the foresight that this is going to be a long-term thing. And with them dropping their studios, I also agree. I think they're on their way out
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
'Cause I got
and
5
if
of
you want to
them.
break in here, you need a franchise. The only reason Xbox is still alive is because I'm gonna bring them up again is Halo. That was the killer for them. That's what sold their consoles. And if you don't have a game that's gonna sell it for you, and you got 14 other places that play the same game, that's not an advantage at all.
Exactly.
Yep.
But before I move on to some other things, do you guys have anything you want to go over? Because I have.
No, I
do you
was
wanna
just gonna iterate that
Mhm.
even with this focus on more AAA games, you got to realize that they're doing a lot of AA deals, like Bug Snacks, Seafood, fucking, I forgot how you pronounce it, Kina,
Oh yeah.
fucking Beyonder or some shit like that. But they're doing a whole bunch of these smaller AA
But I
deals.
thought that was the whole thing. Like, aren't they gonna stop after this though? I mean, they have those games coming, but I mean, if they continue that, that's fine. I don't think anybody would be mad at that. Make some nice, you know, middle of the road. Not, it doesn't have to be indie, but something, you know. But isn't that what they're moving away from, or?
From them making themselves is what
Oh,
it
I
seems.
see what you're saying. The in-house, so they're still gonna probably have like console exclusives, but from other studios. I was thinking that too because that's in-house. So if they're still working with other people, I just don't understand why they didn't work with Kojima then. Because then that brings, why didn't they just work with him?
I mean, listen, if
that might be like an inner political type.
He might be an asshole, and he might be demanding a lot. It
It's
could be,
true.
I
it
I
might
don't
be
think it's that crazy. I just think, hey, it didn't sell like you thought it would. You spent all this money into it. You ain't make as much as you wanted to. You don't want to get locked in that deal again. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like 2K with the baseball deal. You lost millions of dollars. You ain't gonna jump into another contract with MLB like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I think Kojima's style of games it's not.
He needs to just publish his own shit. I think that's that's what it's coming down to. He needs to stop worrying about. He's trying to get money because that's what he's trying to do. He's looking for publishing money. So, and no one wants to publish for him. So he may end up just having to publish his own shit. You know?
I think his ideas are so big that they're just too expensive to really implement and get your money back.
Exactly.
I don't know the man. But everyone loves him. I don't care for his work. That's me. Yes. But I'm
That's
very
fair.
all over the place with gaming. But just outside looking in, obviously I have no evidence of this, but I think he does yoga to suck his own dick. That's just me. I think he goes into these negotiations like, you see what I can do? You see what I can do? And then he goes between his legs.
What is he wrong?
I'd sign
and
him.
like,
I'd sign him in a heartbeat.
Now, I have no problem with that because, I'm a big sports person. And, if you feel like you're worth this and you're going for it and a company gives it to you, you're worth that much. So I have no problem. But I'm just saying that could be the reason why, one, like you said, these kind of games that he wants to make is maybe so out of this. They're like, I can't give you that kind of number to make this kind of game.
Not
So
anymore,
I don't know.
yeah.
It could be,
Yeah,
those-
that's Randy
I
had
think
to
it's
hit the
also-
numbers. Yeah.
I think it's just like also like a chain of command kind of thing where the people who are really signing the checks and giving him this budget don't know shit. And they pass it down to like the guys that are actually hyped to work with Kojima. They give him everything he needs. He delivers something that's fantastic, but isn't on the same level as The Last of Us 2 because it doesn't have the same traction. And it's harder, it's way more obscure. And then when they see the numbers, the big wigs come down and say, hey, listen, that guy you were fucking with, whatever his name is, we're not doing that again. And they're forced to go back to him and be like, Kojima, man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I want you to do this, but these fucking guys won't let it happen. I'm sorry. You know, I gave you the studio. Like, you know, we'll see what happens down the road kind of deal.
It's just tough to. There's not too many first, original IPs that just, justify the cost if you're gonna, like, look at Cyberpunk, right? You got all that hype of all these years and all that, and obviously it launched as a mess, but it's just tough to see. You don't usually get new IPs at that level very often, you
Right.
know. So I think that's another thing. It's tough for these companies just to give up that kind of money.
Yeah, well, creativity doesn't sell. That's pretty much unless it's those are
All these
rare
studios would
instances.
trade all this dope creative shit for another FIFA in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
They want
Yeah.
the next FIFA so bad.
I saw a trailer today for fucking what is it? The new WWE game. And I was just kind of like, fuck this shit. This shit is the same. It's like 2K22 or something. And I was like, fucking same shit, man. Don't want to play this.
Yeah.
But well, just really quick, circling back to the thing with Stadia. See, so Epic has been used to because they spent their whole deals over these last year and change now, giving out free games and all that. It was like $300 million they spent or lost or whatever, and that they haven't really recouped any of that money from the exclusives they got. And what you call it? I was gonna say that's what I feel like that's what Stadia needed to do to kind of be on that level, because it's Tim Sweeney's like laughing. He's like, oh, that's an investment. He's all happy about it. He's not even like any kinds of upset. Everyone's like doom and gloom on Twitter. I'm like, first of all, they knew they were gonna throw away that money. Anybody who thought that Epic thought they were gonna make their money back from giving away free games and spending $10 million to get exclusives on their store was naive to begin with. Like, and I saw people like, oh, they're gonna ask us to pay for all those free games. I'm like, nah. It's like, think about it. They're a household name now for a lot of people who go weekly to get their free games. And I think that's something that Google kind of needed to do as well. Like, they have the free game stuff in Stadia, but they needed to just give that shit away.
Yeah,
Like,
but Epic got other franchises that carries that revenue stream for them.
well, what I'm
Like,
saying is just the money. I know, but you need to you were saying like getting content, building up the brand, like that takes and then building first party exclusives. But
It's an expensive business to start in.
It
You gotta
is.
be willing to invest a lot. Like Microsoft lost a lot of money when they first started. I'm
Exactly.
Sure all of them did. It's the nature of this business. It feels like you just gotta lose a shit.
and it's
ton of
just
money.
harder nowadays. I just think there's just so many players out there and so
Yeah.
many forms of entertainment, because not only you're going up against video games companies, you're going against all forms of entertainment. This is sports, TV, everything is fighting for your dollar, your entertainment dollar. So it's not just one space. You're fighting against all spaces, and in video game space specifically, there's how many players can you name on top of your head? There's a lot of them in this space. That's pretty big.
yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
still growing somehow.
Yeah.
Like what? You got Sony, Tencent, obviously Microsoft, Nintendo. You got some some monsters there,
Yeah, this shit's
Tencent
dominated.
owns Epic Games, right?
huh?
Tencent owns Epic Games.
40%.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, no, I said Tencent. I didn't say Epic.
crazy to
So
think
one
about
thing,
that.
you got to remember their competition is what? Steam, right? Steam owns like 90% of the market.
Right.
So the only way you can chip at that is bringing eyes to yourself, which obviously they did, because I see an article from January that says they already have 160 million accounts within like what, 2 years?
Epic. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And then that's like 56 million that are on the site daily. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was doing the same shit. I was just fucking getting the free games. But guess what? I've actually ended up buying like 6 or 7 titles my damn self.
Exactly,
So-
and they get you that $10 coupon, and you spend
Yeah.
$5 on a bunch of the cheaper games. They, like I said, they threw that money down. That's what I'm saying. Like you got people to play, to come to your service, and it's like, and it's not cloud based. That's the only thing. It's like, fucking, I just feel like Google could have tried a little harder. Even if it would have failed in the end, I just feel like they didn't even try. They just wanted. It's kind of like with the Vita. It didn't explode in the first 6 months. Kill it. You know what I mean? Like Sony did. It's like, come on.
What was the Stadia's shelf life? 2 years? How long was it?
It's been out for what, a year and a half now, or has it been 2 years now?
It might be 2 years now.
I think this year hits 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it 2019?
Maybe.
I think it was like the end of 2019 that it dropped. I think that's what it was, right before the pandemic. Yeah, I think it was like.
It's
towards,
like-
Yeah, November 19th.
yeah,
It's like in a world where you have Xbox and you have Sony and you have the fake ass console war, because that shit doesn't exist anymore, right? People love to say there's still a console war. That's bullshit. But when you come down to both of those systems and then you throw a Stadia, there's nothing exciting about that shit. Like, even those ads are fucking annoying. It reminds me of 90s bullshit Jaguar ads where you saw this and you were like, no one gives a fuck about this shit, man.
32 bits and 64
Like, I got a
bits. Which one's bigger?
PS5. What the fuck are you doing showing me this big hair dude screaming Stadia? What the fuck is that system gonna do for me?
You still don't got a Sega CD?
Even that shit was done better than Stadia. You know what I'm saying? At least it was an add-on. It wasn't like a whole launch for a whole system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, it's annoying to see like that kind of shit, especially a company like Google. Like Ezra said, you got to throw all that money down, and you got to be ready to go for the long haul, lose money, and keep at it. These dudes lose money, and they think that shit's the end of it. It's like, yo, you don't get a free pass. All these companies like Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they grinded. Like when the PlayStation first came out, I didn't know what the fuck that system was. It was marketed to like an adult fan base. It didn't look colorful and fun. It just looked like some new shit I hadn't seen. And then when you saw the games, it's like, oh, this is crazy for the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they lost money at first, and they had a bunch of shitty games, bro. We're entering a time where you don't have shitty games, and you need shitty games. As crazy as that sounds, you need shitty games so that the standout titles could look even that much better. There's some shitty games that I actually enjoyed, like a game like like Overblood. We've talked about Overblood. I love Overblood. That's a shitty survival horror, and it's in the realm of like Resident Evil 1. Without that game, like, my PS1 history would be significantly less fun. There's a lot of those types of titles, shit you just stumbled upon that wasn't even like promoted heavily, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
you find some like diamonds in the rough,
middle shelf games. Yeah, that's what pretty
sometimes
much
you
died.
would, but sometimes you would.
What?
Shit.
Sometimes the game was just.
I want to
as
ask a
bad
question
as-
for the
Oh,
panel.
yeah.
Do you think Amazon is going to follow the footsteps of Stadia, or you think they're going to grind it out themselves?
I don't know. They're
They
still
have
going
more
at it. I mean,
power.
they had that one failure already. I feel like because they had an actual launch that failed and they haven't given up on their MMO yet. It depends on the MMO. Like, I don't think we're gonna know that or have a good feeling of that until their MMO drops, because that
you
could
thi-
fund the rest
Do you
of
think
their
they might
shit.
push a little harder because they have Twitch under their belt?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They see that potential. They're like, you know what, we're gonna stick at, even though we failed the first time, maybe the second time. They're Amazon, obviously.
Look,
they got
have
big time money.
Amazon owns a cloud solution already, so
Yeah.
a lot of sites use Amazon's cloud solution, and I think because of that, because of their cloud solution, because of their install base of Fire TVs, Fire Sticks, and the like, plus they're Amazon, so they got that Amazon money. I think they're not gonna give up very lightly in the video game space, because if they can own that, they're already a juggernaut. That's gonna launch them even further out. I feel
I
like.
don't know how the new CEO thinks, but you can also imagine them creating a service and say, you know what, this is part of Amazon Prime also now. You know what I mean? A gaming service, some type of, their own Game Pass, but it's under Amazon Prime.
Well, it's called Luna. Yeah, they have it. They already have Luna. That's what I'm saying. And
But you get games from Amazon Prime from Luna?
Well, you already get free games from Amazon Prime. Period. You already get free games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
through
true.
Twitch. You know about the Twitch
Twitch,
Prime
yeah.
games, yeah, or Prime Gaming or whatever. So that's Amazon Gaming, and then through Luna is $6. Right now, it started at $6 a month, and you get a selection of it's all the same indie games you see given away at Epic, all the same shit you always see. And then you have the Ubisoft is working with them. Ubisoft's like whoring themselves out to everybody. And then if you want to pay another fee, you can play Ubisoft games unlimited through Amazon's streaming service.
So it's like Uplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Uplay. Exactly. I forget what it's almost the same. It's like a similar like Uconnect or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, Uconnect sounds about right.
Yeah, but the cool thing, it's the same shit. Yeah, so you can stream it through Amazon service. You can stream it on your PC. I think it's through Luna as well. Or you can download the games directly through the Uplay. Wait, that's what you meant, right? The Uplay or whatever. That's Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about EA Play. That's what I was thinking about. But yeah, it's Uplay. Yeah, Uplay now is extended into Amazon Luna. So yeah, that.
Interesting.
So you can download your games locally on your computer, or you can stream them through the Amazon service.
Not bad. I didn't even.
Yeah, because they're not promoting it hard. It's in beta right now. So I've played a few games and I tried a few things out, and it's all right. I mean, if you're on the hardwired connection, it works pretty well. But it's a subscription model, which I think works way better than, hey, pay $60 for this game that you don't own only to the cloud. Like, that's fucking ridiculous to me.
Everything's gonna be subscription based. It's just way more income for all these companies. And
that's why I don't understand Stadia. Like, why the fuck? Who the fuck told them that anybody want to pay money for?
Honestly, I think the biggest problem with Stadia is the simple fact that the only advantages you have are very small. Like, I can move from one room into the other to continue my gaming.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Fucking, I don't have to wait for updates. Ezra's favorite fucking Warzone shit to do. That's it. As far as I can think of, that's pretty much it.
And the other thing that they boasted that I didn't see is that you can play on one screen too. Like, you could have two browser windows both playing a different Stadia game, and you could do like split screen. That was like one of the other cool things. You could have like 4 windows open and 4 people could be playing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
like internet connection though. Like, who has that internet connection?
I know we all struggle, but damn, you're using 4 screens. I mean, 4 games on one screen. The struggle is real in the house.
Yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, that was one of the things that they brought up. Like I said, it would be but you can do that with xCloud though. You know what I mean? For a way cheaper price, you can play all those games. You can play a bunch of dope games, in any room. You can't play it on your TV yet, I guess, granted, but if you have an Xbox, then there you go.
They just have to go back to basics. Forget this shit ever happened, man. The Stadia's fucking bunk.
Yeah.
That shit's whack. Like, at this point.
Advertising company, man. Maybe they couldn't sell ads on this thing. They're like, we can't really advertise the way we want to on this. So what's the point?
Yeah, who knows?
How about we just lay Stadia to rest, and on your show, just lay it to rest, just like it's finished.
Oh yeah,
just
that was
announce
it.
it before it's officially done. That you're the first one to call it. Like, that's it.
Call it.
Yeah.
Put it to rest today, right now.
I say
April 13th, 2021. Rest in peace, Stadia.
We set it on the water off. Like,
we are hereby gathered today.
Oh, you still got some hope.
like light it on fire and put it out to sea. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll come back to this in 1 year and see. Stadia is the biggest gaming service out there.
So the new Kojima, we're gonna be here next year. The new Kojima game came out on the Stadia today.
Like, you still play PlayStation? Who plays local games anymore anyway? Cloud gaming for life.
Sony. I don't remember Sony.
He was a company,
right? So all right, so changing the subject, I just was one really quick bone I need to pick from your last episode. Okay, because y'all was struggling on the very first episode I ever listened to it, where Marv showed up. I was like, first of all, I forgot who you were from, so I was like, who the hell's Marvin? But anyway, and then I remembered you from Cyber Games. Shout out to Cyber Games.
Oh yeah.
But y'all said some incorrect shit, and I was just like, man, these guys. So anyway,
it's coming for our neck, son.
Listen. But I don't know how many episodes since that first one. Now it was Ezra who was saying a bunch of wrong shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Ezra? What's wrong with you, bro? So that whole Game Boy fucking thing, like you were killing me with that shit. Talking about that the Switch is a Game Boy and you're just changing the name, and I was just like, no. First of all, Marv had it right. What Marv was trying to say, this shit was killing me, is that Nintendo's not gonna have a dedicated handheld anymore. That's it. It's dead. It's over. It's never gonna be the Switch Lite is your dedicated handheld.
Okay.
The Game Boy brand has been dead since the DS came out. So if you meant the Game Boy brand, that shit's been dead.
Okay, I said what I was saying the whole time was I said they're gonna probably bring back the Game Boy brand in some kind of way.
Nah.
What I mean, it's not here now, but it still holds weight. Everyone knows a Game Boy. How much? Like if people still know the name, that means the brand is still relevant.
So the brand is what you meant. Okay.
That's all I meant. I didn't say they were coming out a new system. I just said you could call anything a Game Boy. I just said is the brand itself. A Game Boy does not mean. I mean, we all know it is a handheld, but in the future, it doesn't have to be in handheld.
I can see that. I can see. Well, in the brand itself, yes. It just sounded like the conversation sounded like you were talking about just the.
If you gonna come at my neck, pay attention to what the fuck I
was paying attention.
I said I was talking about. You could bring. I said they're gonna bring back Game Boy in some kind of way in the future. Remember, I know it died immediately when it landed, but do you remember Virtual Boy? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure do.
And now that I'm aware of, VR is kind of hot at the moment. You never know what Nintendo might say. You know what? Let's just drop a Game Boy out of nowhere. And people will, you're talking about it's dead. But you know Game Boy. If they announce some shit with Game Boy, how many fucking Nintendo fan heads are going to blow their gasket?
Oh, yeah. Well, if they do like a micro or something like that, I think it would blow up. But an actual like dedicated...
Like I said, it doesn't have to be a handheld thing. I'm just talking about the brand itself has value because people know Game Boy.
But I think if you go to Game Boy, I think it's so memorable and it does carry so much weight that it's tied down by that weight. I think you have to stick to something very similar in form factor if you're gonna use the Game Boy title.
If they say
you can call it Game Boy, and
if they bring back Game Boy like a VR, let's say they bring a VR, but just call it a Game Boy, you know,
I think people hate that. I already hate
that. Because you already hate that.
Damn, tell us
if you're gonna call it a Game Boy, then it's gotta look like it's gotta be a Game Boy. It's gotta be. Otherwise, why the fuck are you just creating the name Game Boy? Because that holds weight with it. So if you're gonna call it a Game Boy, you better be fucking a Game Boy. It better not be some random shit that you're trying to get.
But we're talking about the future. First of all, we know Game Boy's not coming out anytime in the immediate future. We're just talking about future technology. The brand will bring something, you know, to people's attention.
If they can bring it, if they bring back a dope ass Game Boy that has the same form factor, I'm all in. That's cool as hell, you know.
Yeah, I think that's something that's not kind of not out of the woods yet. I could see them doing something like that because everything goes backward, man. Like it's gonna come a time where people don't want to play a Switch handheld. Like
anything in video games, what brand is not? If it has a brand, if it has a name to it, when is it not brought back at some point?
Right.
It's true.
That's true.
When is it not brought back? If the brands, you know, kind of equals money, you're probably gonna be like, all right, there's gonna be some
brand has Nintendo brought back besides the Wii U after the Wii?
What happened?
What name has Nintendo really brought back outside of the Game Boy handhelds for a while?
I'm just what are you talking about?
They don't do throwbacks.
They always rebrand and they always.
You're talking about a console. You're not talking about. There's Mario. I'm surprised there's not a Mario Sex Party video game out there. Like they rebrand that to 1,000 million other things. So like I could just see them doing something with a brand like Game Boy.
Like anything new. I mean, based on their history, like Dave was saying. I don't think they'll bring anything new with the Game Boy name on it unless they're just really going left and gonna come out with like a brand new handheld that's called Game Boy. But
I can't wait 20 years from. I just want to know 20 years from now.
Anything, I guess anything is possible. I'm just saying, like, you know, I said based on the way they're doing things now, at most we'll get like I feel like a mini or maybe some kind of virtual console where you can play. They'll release Game Boy games like on the Switch, and they'll have something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool, like a Game Boy arcade or something.
So you guys are still thinking on that old school linear. I'm just this is why you're fighting me because like they're not gonna bring back a handheld because they have a handheld.
But you're talking. I mean, just the name. Like, I don't see Nintendo doing based on everything they've ever done, just on their history alone. They
bro.
Like just to call something a Game Boy and not be related
They've done
to
it
their.
before with Game Boy. They made they made a Virtual Boy. They tried something new back in the day, so they have some type of history.
Well, because they called it Boy. I mean, I guess
it wasn't that wasn't a game. Now you're gonna tell me that wasn't a Game Boy?
No,
that wasn't part of the brand.
It was red.
Nah, I see where you're. I get. Well, go ahead, Jose. I'll let you finish.
No, I think they were definitely trying to capitalize off the Game Boy success by adding Boy to it, Virtual Boy. I mean, who knows? I think that if that had been successful, we would have probably seen a Super Boy, you know, like a Super Nintendo Boy. Who knows? Like, I feel like that name definitely holds some weight.
That's all I'm saying. That's just talking about the branding of it. I don't expect them to make a handheld and, like, you know, eat at their own system, obviously. And I don't expect it to happen within this, you know, generation either. You know, I just wouldn't be surprised and they just drop some Game Boy shit someday, because it's a company and companies be like trying to come up with ideas, and somebody at the end of the table is gonna be like, you know, we could bring back Game Boy, right?
I mean, they could definitely harvest the old games. I think they could definitely find a marketplace to put them and then use the Game Boy branding and all that. I think that could definitely happen.
But I understand what Marvin was saying. Marvin was right. I wasn't arguing more like Marvin. They're not. I know they're not going to do that. I'm just saying that this. I just know, you know, companies, and it's not only video games. Companies. What
I guess what it sounds like is that if you're saying they're going to bring back Game Boy, the brand, we're expecting it to be what it's like is something close to its legacy, a dedicated handheld. So it's like, what else could they do, you know, with the name Game Boy besides bring back legacy games or make a dedicated handheld called Game Boy?
Anything could be a handheld with today's technology.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it could be a VR headset. It could be a watch. It could be, you know, I don't know, 10 years from now, glasses, you know, Google glasses, but it'll be a Game Boy glasses. I have no idea. Technology can be anything. Mobile nowadays is handheld. It could be a cell phone. I have no idea, but those all fall in the category as handheld.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Once again, you keep thinking about.
I think the other argument was more fun.
Yeah, I know.
That's broad. It's like, oh, they're gonna use the brand again. Yeah, they'll probably use the brand again. I mean, yeah, that's easy.
I can't wait till you get your new Game Boy, and then I'm gonna laugh at you on your Twitch stream.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm not against it. I don't think it'll happen. I hope you're right. I hope that is exactly what happens. Like, yo, Ezra was right. He's the man. Give me a fucking brand new Game Boy.
But I don't think that's a bold prediction anyway. You know what I mean? It's not a bold prediction.
Right. That's what I said. It's not.
It's like saying my Jets are gonna suck next year. That's not a bold prediction. Okay, it's been done hundreds of times before in the history of gaming and entertainment. So that's all I was going off of.
Tough life.
You right.
Yeah, Mark's a Giants fan, so you know, I got to hear it from him.
So Mark, what do you think about Sony with the AAA? Do you think this is a great move, or are you for Last of Us remake already, or like this is stuff like, because as I say, he's gonna come for our throats talking about Sony. So
nah, I mean, listen, I don't care if it's an unexpected studio making the game. Like, as long as it's not they're not fucking it up like, oh, okay, we're gonna break off this team from Naughty Dog from working on their next fucking title so they can make this fucking remake or whatever, then it is when it's a problem. But if it's the Sony visual support fucking group that nobody's ever fucking heard of or that nobody's ever aware of that's making this game, I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're getting a free game or bonus.
So you don't think it's too soon though? You don't think they should have waited a little longer? I mean, just in general though, like.
I mean, I'd be interested to see how the gameplay is improved as far as like making it similar to Part 2. Because I don't really remember. I know there's like a whole bunch of small shit if you pay attention, but I can't point it out immediately. You know what I'm saying?
I think, honestly speaking, man, I think that we're heading into an era where, much like streaming services taking over, much like HBO changing the game and saying, fuck that, you don't need to have cable to have our service, we have HBO now, and then that turned into HBO Max. I think that with all these streaming things like Steam and like what Stadia was trying to do, I think we're really entering an era where maybe in the next 10-15 years, a brand will be able to release, like, game companies will be able to release dongles just for a particular game that doesn't belong to any system. Like, I think that's the future, honestly, where it just takes out the fucking middleman, and you have these huge. It'll take like a nice set of well-established creators to do this shit, but they could do it if they just said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna start our own studio, and we're gonna develop the tech. We're gonna have a group that develops this like service that you don't even need to be Sony, Microsoft, any of that shit's irrelevant. They just sell it, and it's just its own thing." Kind of like a plug and play system that plays at like fucking 4K. I don't think that's far fetched. I feel like that is gonna be when the game changes for good.
That's an awesome idea. I think it is a little far fetched. I think it's cool though.
Yeah, I think that 10-15 years from now, when this shit becomes tiresome, when companies get tired of the labor that goes into it, the whole disc shit becomes irrelevant and everything is just cloud based. I think it's gonna end up being one of those things where it's like, yo, Remedy just released Max Payne 3. I'm gonna cop that, and you just go and pick it up, and it's a fucking case with a dongle. You plug that shit into your HDMI, and boom, you're playing.
But like still cloud based though, like still off the internet.
Yeah, like so, like
where do they get the servers and stuff?
Nah, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
I feel like
servers.
No, there's a lot of factors, but I feel like down the line, 15 years maybe, 10-15 years, I feel like something like that is. People are always trying to cut out the middleman when shit like this keeps happening. This is what ends up changing shit for a big, like,
Maybe
that's
like
how
the music industry cut out.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's how Spotify, Napster, all this shit. People would have never believed you if you said, "Yo, you're gonna be able to just get everything you ever want to listen to. Fuck, a CD is not gonna matter. You're just gonna go to this app and it's all there." People would have looked at you like you're fucking nuts, because all of the factors in between. I know there's things that to consider that are gonna make this shit almost impossible, but I could see that being the future. Honestly,
I don't know. Maybe we'll have some like crazy breakthrough in computing power to the point where games just aren't an issue for most hardware on anything, And if that's a problem, then hey.
Yeah.
I think that's just internet based. Like it's just gonna be they don't want you to own any part of that file. So it's like that's what they dying for. That they don't you've given them money monthly. You don't own any of the shit. You know what I mean?
Don't own shit, exactly. They can take it away whenever they want. Put
exactly.
It in the
Then
vault for 10 years and then.
Go ahead.
Also, they ain't gotta make shit.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gotta manufacture shit.
That's
why
just there.
Disney, man. Disney's smart. They put shit in the vault, make you want it for like 10 years, and then just put it out for 2 weeks.
Well, like Nintendo just did with their fucking Mario shit, putting Mario 35 in there.
Crazy.
And the other one, the Mario 3D All Stars or whatever. I can't believe they did that shit. It's like, come on. I made sure to buy it physical. They got me on that shit, but I'm, like, I don't know if it's only because a couple of them Pfeffer didn't play, and that was really it. It was just like I was gonna get this no matter what, but you know what I mean. It was just like, but that sucks. Like if that's a continuous thing, it's gonna be hard to support that like all the time. Like okay, here, buy this, real quick, and it's coming again. I'm sure they sold like crazy.
But that shit was wild disrespectful. Because if you're only doing it for a limited time, and you just don't do no improvements, like this is the same source code.
It was minimal, yeah. There was some improvements, but yeah, they could have done a lot better with Mario 64 for sure, and Mario Sunshine. The only one that got like the best improvement was the Wii version. It had widescreen support. It looks like a more modern Mario compared to like 64. That it got an HD facelift, but it's still 4:3. They didn't add no extra shit to it. Like they really should have did like something. Like you get this exclusive shit. Like for that, I'm gonna keep emulating. Then y'all could keep going after the emulation sites, but GameCube emulation is almost perfect. And you can upscale that shit. So. That's why I'm like, they need to stop that shit because it's too easy to still, but I guess it's still niche enough that it probably is not even though they did go after all those sites, so maybe it's not.
Just a heads up, I don't mean to interrupt. Zencaster isn't recording anymore.
It stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Mine shows, no, it's not actually. We're all in there, but it says finished.
It says finished.
What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
After 47 minutes, and where are we at now? You know what, then fuck it. I'm still recording on things, so I think we're all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you ever see yourselves, like any of you, getting priced out of gaming? Like gaming getting to a point where it's just so disconnected from where we started from with it that you just like, I'm done. I'm good. I'll play
I
with
mean,
whatever I got and that's it. I'm not getting any new stuff, so on and so
I feel like in the last 30 years, or from like the mid 90s when Super Nintendo was like the fucking king of systems,
forth.
there were really expensive games back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember Street Fighter Alpha 2 being $79.99, and that shit was like, what the fuck? That NBA Jam, certain titles were really expensive, and I mean for a majority of the
Warrior? Forget.
for a majority of the years that I've been a gamer, which is pretty much my whole life, I haven't seen the price jump too significantly. If anything, has gotten cheaper from them days. It depends on the game and if I really want to play it that bad. Like I can't watch other, like if like they came out with a new dope Marvel versus Capcom, right? And like dudes like us are gonna buy that shit even if it's $100, especially if it looks like what we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
yeah.
the price tag.
$100 and 10 characters.
Yeah, no, I get that. I would probably hold off a little bit, depending, but it also depends on what my people are doing, because there's some things you just can't miss out on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh my god. Wait.
What the fuck just happened?
Sorry, I started the recording again. I don't think they can hear me yet. What did you do just now? Oh, okay, they're coming and they're figuring it out.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I hit record and I thought it was just gonna like start recording and it was gonna kick us out of the whole other room.
Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, my bad. All right, there's Ezra.
I think.
No. So where do we know where this left off now?
Oh, Jose was talking. No, I'm still recording on.
Even the audio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm muted. Yeah.
It's recording the audio from Zencaster.
Gotcha.
The desktop audio.
yo,
Yeah, there you go. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Anyway, wait, who are we missing?
Wait, Jose is oh, we're missing Jose. That was
you guys
from,
hear each other?
Yeah.
We do in Zencast, so you're grayed out. You might have to refresh it, Jose.
I can't hear anybody. If anybody can hear me,
Hold on. Yeah, Jose, I hear you here, but you're grayed out in Zencast, so you gotta like refresh it again.
all right.
Alright.
Yo,
There you go. All right, now mute
Yeah.
yourself. There, perfect. Sorry about that. Fucking bullshit.
Are
oh,
we all good?
Yeah. I was just talking to one of his hoes.
Nice. He's like, yeah, so mom anyway, so.
yo, I can't hear Ez.
I'm here. I didn't talk.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
My bad. What were you saying before the shit happened? My bad.
No, I was saying that back in the 90s when games were coming out, and I remember there being a lot of fucking really expensive games for Super NES, you know, like NBA Jam and Street Fighter Alpha 2 being like 80, you know, $85 with tax back in the day. Cuz it was like
God,
yeah, it was $79.99. I remember that shit.
great.
And I had it, and the only reason I got that shit is because like I knew it was coming out like maybe 2 months in advance. And I asked my grandmother and my grandfather and my grandmother and my mom to like get it for me
Alpha?
because yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when you got that shit because you lent me Alpha for Super Nintendo.
that shit was fire, not for nothing. Besides that little pause at the beginning,
Yeah, K.O.
that shit was a pretty solid experience. So I mean, these days games are just getting back to being that expensive. It seems. It depends. Like if I have like 5 out of 10 friends, or you know, like 3 out of 5 friends who are all getting the new Street Fighter, and they're gonna be doing all this cool shit, I'm probably gonna pay. It really depends. Like if I'm gonna play that shit by myself and nobody's really into it, I'm not buying it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not gonna have fun by myself, and I hate, I like the idea of playing games like that with my friends. So it really depends. But priced out, I don't know. I hope it doesn't get too absurd, the prices.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Oh man. I don't want to say this publicly because it hurts to say this publicly because we're consumers and consumers, if we're together, we have power. But I think, especially the AAA games, depending on the game you love, I think games at $70 is a great value in a sense that depending, especially in the replay, I've been playing Overwatch for two and a half years now. You know what I mean?
Nice.
For $60, like how many, like if we go to the movies, you and your girl, you're spending $60 for 2 hours and all right, I'm spending $60, 2.5 years, I get replay value and I'm saving money and other forms of entertainment. I just think, even $70, depending on what game it is, which a lot of games try to offer you that kind of replay value. I just think it's an enormous, value at this point. So even being priced out, like I feel like you can increase it some more, and I still think you'll justify that purchase, especially if you're playing it for how many hours. What am I at Call of Duty? I don't even know. 40 days played. I don't something ridiculous. I don't know if I should say that publicly either, but you know what I mean.
No, I hear
just
what
think
you're
it's
saying.
a tremendous value, and I'm with Jose on this.
What happens when you drop $100 and the game is trash, though?
Oh well, that's but that's like anything else, right? You watch a pay-per-view, you watch a movie, you watch a boxing match.
I mean, there's
We-
chances,
we,
yeah.
we get it's a lot of forms of entertainment. It could be potentially garbage.
I
Stuff
also
like
think that we're not to interrupt, we're at a point where it's like there's so many playthrough videos, there's so many early reviews, there's so many people on Twitch that you're gonna know prior to spending this money whether this game's worth it or not. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the way Cyberpunk, everybody knew that game was gonna, the second that shit dropped, if you didn't cop it on day one, if you went out and spent $70, $60 on fucking Cyberpunk, you bought that shit knowing that it had problems because everybody's super vocal about everything. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really go into a situation these days where you buy a game that you didn't know was trash. It has to genuinely be like some out of nowhere shit. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is able to put it out there so fast.
That's true. I mean, you could always wait for reviews and stuff like that. So yeah.
And as a consumer buying thing, we have to keep these companies in check too. Like just don't run out there buy $100 and you demand like, I'm not buying the next shit until you fix this one, or depending on whatever game or company it is. Like that's something that us consumers have made happen in the past or complained about something like what Microsoft, right? Didn't they try to? Was it Microsoft when they try to do 100% gain on your gamer tag or something like that to try to force you to get a Game Pass?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And the consumers was like, "What? F out of here!" And in 24 hours, it's like, "Nah, we'll reverse this," and stuff like that. So as long as we stand together, I think we can. We hold some of the cards in our hands and like that. But there is a chance if a game is trash, but like anything else, the person you're dating could be trash, but you'll find out, and you took that chance. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that'll get priced out is day one purchases at most, and that's a big deal for a lot of companies. So it's like there's still hope, like you said, people vote with their wallets, but that's only day one purchase because besides Nintendo, most games drop in price within a month. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm already close to being priced out of day one. It has to be something it's from a trusted retailer. I mean, a trusted developer that I know it's going to be decent, or I don't care. I'm going to try it myself. I'll buy it day one. But a lot of games I don't buy day one because I don't have the time. I have my backlog is ridiculous. So it's like to spend $70 for the game to sit there for another month, and then by the time I play it, it's already down to $29.99. It's like I'm already, it's like I'm sure that's how a lot of people buy games nowadays. So it's like it gotta be. That's why they still go hard with marketing and stuff because they want those day one sales.
End of the day, I think it's the brand itself. Because look at Sony and Xbox when it dropped their systems. We're in April. Guess what? I know some of you enjoyed some of these remakes and all that. Sony PlayStation 5 hasn't given me shit as new IP or something to play with. Okay, I'm still playing fucking PS4 games on my shit, but people are dropping $1,000, $1,500 today still for some of these systems.
Well,
It's the brand of how powerful they are. Like if Final Fantasy drops something tomorrow, no matter you heard nothing or not, even if they were hide behind the critics, Daniel's still gonna drop $100 tomorrow on a Final Fantasy. It depends on the game, the franchise, the brand.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, you are.
I said you are. I said you're right.
You're calling sick. You know, I got a little
Like
cough here, and you still dropping that money.
17 is coming out tomorrow. 16 didn't even come out yet, but 17 is out.
I get a T-shirt. I'm getting a special edition, $174 right now.
Well, only
You see
because
this T-shirt I got a special edition.
honestly, the only reason I'm gonna get 16 day one, no matter what, is because the guy who made 14, which I've been playing since it launched, I paid the monthly sub for that. Is on staff to develop that game. That's the only reason why. Because I hated 15. I hated 15 with a passion.
Pretty bad, yeah.
It was just
I hated
it was.
good.
I just
I'm
hated
gonna
it.
shut up after this, but there's certain things like I keep like how can I say I'm hard-headed on. Like I hate Capcom for like if you drop a Street Fighter and then I gotta wait 16 months so you could drop Blanca. Like shit like that pisses me off. Like I'm not buying your shit. I'm not buying your next game if you go and do dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Like this guy has been a character
Yeah.
in the franchise for 30 years, and I gotta wait to play with my favorite character. I don't know when you decide to drop a DLC. That is complete bullshit, and that's when you gotta keep companies in check for shit like that. Like, what the fuck? Someone
Yeah.
I've been playing with for 30 years, for suddenly I gotta wait to a release date?
Yeah, every fighting franchise has been
That's
doing that.
literally-
But
That's literally just the company trying to capitalize off the fact that they know this is a fan favorite, which is pretty shitty.
It's some
Because
straight bull, and Capcom's been doing it for years with this straight bullshit and with this casual fan control schemes. Suck my ass, whoever's
Oh,
at the top
yeah.
of Capcom. And at this
Yeah,
point,
fuck that.
I hope, I know it's not gonna happen, but I hope another company buys Capcom. I hope a Microsoft or Sony or Amazon says, you know what? Here's the money. Just give me the damn thing because we're gonna need the content anyway.
Well,
I hope one day.
The only reason
That's
why
just
I'm
me
against
hoping.
that is only because they make other shit that's dope. So it's like, yeah, Street Fighter has taken a shit big time, and we talked about that. You know, we all know how Jose feels about Street Fighter 5. Literally the same energy.
yeah, man, that's the same wave. Not like, listen, it's not hard to get the core fan base, and the new kids on the same page. It's very easy. I'm not a fucking designer. I don't do art. I don't fucking know how to create a game. As a fan, what I know is what people want. People don't, you regurgitate. There's some instances where regurgitating the same shit is what we want. Just elaborate on the fucking recipe. That's it. You don't gotta do all this extra shit. And then, like Street Fighter 5, they launched without a fucking without an arcade mode. You went in there, the game was like the lobbies were fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like anything like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, don't even talk to me about that bullshit ass game. You know what I'm saying? Like these are games that are classics, and you're just taking them apart. And that's not what people want. That's the only reason why a game like Mortal Kombat has been able to maintain its kind of like its reputation and have such a serious level of success, because button schemes never changed. They went back to 2D with a 3D kind of like, you know, cutscene kind of formula. It kept it competitive. The game is broken as shit as well, but they launched a full fucking game. The first day I got Mortal Kombat 9, 10, 11, I had a different story. I had classic characters available at the fucking beginning. I had cool shit available to me. I had a crypt with a whole like adventure storyline. You know what I'm saying? Like this is some shit that Capcom just got used to doing, the bullshit that they used to do in the 90s. They've always released like 7 versions of one fucking game. You had Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been used to this. If they could have done it more and more back then, they would have. But back then, motherfuckers was hungry. We didn't want to keep seeing the, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit. Any game you had after that, like Street Fighter 3rd Impact, it was all off of the same formula. You know what I'm saying? Like you could touch a fucking Children of the Atom and know somebody from Street Fighter has something to do with this shit. It was too similar. It felt the same. The anime, so parts of it felt like, oh yeah, this is a banger. Same thing with Rival Schools. Oh, this is a banger. These are all games that felt like Capcom was on their shit. They knew where their strengths were, and they never held back. And now it's just like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, they it feels like, I think, because even when whose phone is that? It's coming through. What is it? Fighting game has been doing that, because not Dead or Alive. Soul Calibur. It's the same shit. Like a fucking fan favorite. It took forever for a new Soul Calibur to come out, and then a fan favorite, you had to pay DLC for the DLC to get the fan favorite, and it's just like, come on, like, you guys need to try a little harder than that. And it's like, it's like, I get, they want to sell, they want you to have a reason to buy the DLC, and it's like,
yeah, that's because they don't have faith. They don't have faith in their creativity, man. Because this whole DLC shit and this whole paying for, like, it's like the hype around that just kind of ruined certain things. Because back in the day, you just got what you got. You weren't worried. It's too much worrying about what, like, on one hand, you got to worry about what the fans think and keep them happy by delivering something that's authentic to the original idea, because that's what got you that fan base. It's the same shit I say about bands, like in music. Motherfuckers don't want to hear you play a whole different style of music. If you want to do that shit, start a side project. If I like the Deftones, right? The Deftones remain successful for 30 years because they keep releasing the same shit. And people like that about them. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to elaborate your style or go a whole different direction, you got to do something that isn't tied to that name, because then you're just taking your name and duping people. You're making people say, yeah, you got to fuck with this because we want to be experimental. No, motherfucker, we gave you your name. We want the same thing. We can't tell you how to be creative, but I don't have to pay for that shit, and then you're going to suffer. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy is that the proof is the people prove. I mean, I know it's a little hard to compete with them, but like Smash has done it. They literally have proved that you can put every legacy fucking character in your launch, the day one launch, almost except for Luigi for some reason. Every fucking launch character is in, and they're still selling DLC, and the DLC selling like crazy, and people still get super hyped for all the new drops for Smash. I know Smash is it's in its own realm, but it's like people will buy the DLC for a fighting game that they love. I bought, like if Street Fighter, stuck to all that and released a dope game, I think I'd still buy the DLC. But you know
what the equivalent to this shit is? You know what the equivalent to this shit is? Back in the day when Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out, and there were no ninjas in the game. There was no Katana, no Melina, no Reptile, no Smoke, no Sub-Zero. The only Sub-Zero it was just robots, and the only Sub-Zero was the scarred one. He was maskless, had the same moveset, but that alone changed the whole feel of the game, and people were like, what the fuck is this? And then they released Ultimate, and it had everybody back. It's like that was a plan from the beginning, but that plan was there because they knew that people were going to fucking feel a way about it. And that's probably one of the reasons that's one of the weakest in the fucking series. You know what I'm saying? That's when the downfall of that title started for me. Mortal Kombat 3 was just like, what is this bullshit? Everything looked cheap about it. Like the fatalities felt corny. Like you slice a dude through mid chest and his arms are floating. Like, this is corny, bro. This is like cartoon shit. Get this bullshit out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I get, that it may not be the easiest thing to stick to the recipe, but you've been in the game for too long. You see what's happening out here. People are loving the retro thing. Like, people want to go back and play 8-bit titles. People are like, a lot of indie games are nothing but like, platformers and shit. Like, if Capcom came out next week and said they were releasing a new Marvel vs. Capcom that looked exactly like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but a little better, character sprites, involved newer characters, and had a roster of like 30 people to start, same button scheme from part 2. We just want a new part 2, and you're gonna see how fucking fast
I think that
the fighting game community gets set on fire. That shit'll sun everything.
Yes,
I think it stopped recording.
All right, well then forget it. I'm not gonna go through. We're not gonna go through all that. It's still recording on this side, so yeah, we'll do the best. I'll do the best that we can. We didn't lose any audio so far.
All right, yeah.
I actually wanted want to bring something up because it seems appropriate given the fact that we have Ezra and Marv here, right? So I wanna read something off to you, okay? This is a spot out in Wyoming Avenue in Detroit, and I'm just gonna read off what it says. Player versus Player has been operating under a soft opening for the past year. The lounge features gaming consoles that appeal to a range of generations, from the Atari system to the highly coveted PS5. The hip hop and comic book themed space features murals on the wall and black lights that give it an arcade atmosphere. This is literally Cyber Games in Detroit.
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
just by the sound of this shit.
If you look at it, it's a pay for system where you buy money, you put a shit on a card. They have a bunch of screens laid out, just like Cyber Games. Of course, everything is up to date and it's all like 27-inch curved monitors, but it's the same exact idea. You go to a spot and they have every type of system. You pay to play, and it's like a lounge. How ahead of the times was fucking Cyber Games, huh?
I'll forget about it. It was funny because I was telling dudes from my job about Cyber Games. They were like, "What?"
Yeah. I always get that type of reaction too. It's like people don't believe any of this shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, we used to literally cut class to go over there and play Smash and WCW versus NWO World Tour and No Mercy and shit. Like, that was the fucking spot. Weren't we not allowed in there after like before 12 or some shit at one point, or like before 1 p.m.?
Probably.
I think there was a rule like that at some point.
Yeah, because cops started like somebody complained, and cops used to fuck with kids all the time.
I know nobody beats the Wiz used to kick us out. If it was before 1, that's for sure.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Wow, you're old.
96.
I never heard of that place.
For
Right?
real.
Yeah, you totally didn't live down the block from there. Yeah, not at all.
Nobody beats the Wiz, goddamn.
But Cyber Games was definitely like that spider's web for like the hood right there for us to, everybody used to know each other and talk smack to each other and play games. It really was the hub for us in the Upper West Side. Cyber Games it's a legend.
Yep.
It was a big impact on our lives.
Yeah, no, it really was. Like, that was a space where you'd see people that you never really spoke to when you were in the hood. Like, if you were at PS 145 playing ball or just chilling in the projects in the park, there were some people that you saw every day, but you didn't talk to, and then you'd run into them in Cyber Games, and it was like automatic friends. Like, oh shit, what's up, man? Like, you didn't even know that some of these dudes were into gaming and shit until you saw them there.
And a lot of times you didn't even go there to play games. You would go there just to meet up with your friends and watch other people play and just talk and
bullshit. Yo, I'm gonna stop by Cyber
man.
Games, kick it.
Yep.
That shit happened all the time. And then they had a moment where they sold like fake cigarettes and like fake shit and itching powder and fart spray. Like, they had a bunch of random cool shit that me and like my cousin Mario used to utilize and fuck with people. So that that's spot.
I'll tell you one thing. The original owner knew when to get out for some reason. Like, as soon as he sold, maybe 6 months, a year later, it was done for them. He got out just in time.
No, it lasted a while long. Didn't they open the second spot after he left?
No,
he opened both stores.
No, he opened up the second spot.
He opened both stores. The original
okay.
owner opened both stores. It was Danny, and I think it's Stan. Was it Stan?
Yeah, Stan.
Stan, he was cool.
Yeah.
I like Stan. Yeah, I used to talk to him after he bought the store and all that. He's the one that broke it down for me how why like small businesses like gaming business like that are like, it's hard to make money, because he like one day we were just talking and he was, somebody got mad because like people do, they get mad that, oh, you're only gonna give me $5 for this, and for trading.
They made their money off of used games.
Exactly. He told me that he was like that. They only make, if a game was $50, he only made like $5.
$5.
Yeah, they paid $45 for it, and for consoles they made $8. So if it was $300, and then if the console dropped in price, he had to eat it. He got fucked, and he was telling me like, I don't even make money off of this stuff. I only make money off of used games.
For the used games, that's it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's why I was telling I was arguing that GameStop is just as an investor, GameStop is overall is a garbage company,
Right.
and you're relying on used games. That's why GameStop used to F you all the time on you trying to bring back a game and stuff like, because that's where their money makers. That's still where their
'Cause
money
I
makers.
think it's the same for them too. I don't think it's any. It's just that they have bulk. They can sell
Yeah.
like a, bulk. But
Right.
yeah, that's they. I think they make the profit margins are razor thin when it comes to games.
It's probably better for them, seeing as they have more leverage.
That's true. I mean, they
But-
probably got a couple more, but I
it's still
doubt
not
it's
a lot.
much.
It's still
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, no, but their biggest problem was
They're doing
when
alright.
they were just trying to force all of the traffic to the used games.
Yeah.
Like if I
Mhm.
come in your store and be like, "Yo, I want that new GTA 5," be like, but we got like 60 used copies over here. Like, nah, fam, I just want a new one.
And even if, but the thing is about their used copies was they'd be like, so the new one costs $50, the used one will cost $45. Like, I'm not getting a deal buying a used one off of you
Exactly.
guys.
Yeah,
if you have
that
your
shit used to
power-up
make me
card-
mad.
Man, fuck GameStop. I can't wait.
I
for
actually,
not that I can't wait. They need to change their game plan.
I bought Overwatch there, right? And when I fucking bought it, dude like opened the case for me. He was like, "All right, here we go," and he like popped it open and showed me the disc
Oh.
and
Oh,
like
fuck.
closed it, and I was like, "Nah, bro, like I need a new one." And he was like, "Oh, what's wrong with y'all dudes? Like y'all fucking, this is normal to y'all? Like what the fuck are you doing?"
Why the
He
fuck
took your
would-
experience away from you.
Yeah, I looked at this dude like he was fucking crazy. Like, yo, I don't think this youngin understands that I come from an era where if that shit don't got a seal, it
That shit ain't new.
that shit ain't new, pops.
Even
if
if you
that
opened it
shit
right
got a
there,
seal-
fuck that.
He opened it and showed me it, like pop, like oh cool, it's in there. Yeah, motherfucker. I assumed that game was in there because you're an establishment that sells them. I would assume the game's in the case. Like, give me
You
a
know what's,
package joint. The fuck out of here with
Another
that.
good way to know the game is inside when it's completely fucking sealed. from
Yeah,
inside.
when it's sealed, motherfucker, because no one's opened it yet. That's cool.
Exactly.
Like
No.
like Ezra said, a
Sounds
$5
good.
discount. Like who the fuck needs that $5 that bad that you're gonna fucking say, yeah, let me get a used one that was possibly put in and out of a machine as a demo 10 times a day. Like no,
Greasy as
fuck, like
fuck.
I want a brand new game. It's insane
And
how
that-
GameStop. I'm tired of that store.
Yeah, and
bro.
then once they stopped hiring, like first of all, it was always friends of friends of friends who end up getting jobs there, and once they merged, because I think their biggest downfall is merging with EB, because that's when they really turned to shit. Because you remember the one on 106, right? So that
Real
one,
gamers.
yeah, like that one, those dudes were like the coolest motherfucker. I knew everybody in there just as much as I knew people in cyber games. I used to hang out in Software Etc. up on 106 in Broadway all the time, and then they changed to GameStop, but it was the same guys. Once they got
Yeah.
rid of all those heads, that's when that shit, I couldn't go in there no more. Like you walk in and they were with the whole like, oh, you want to buy because it was EB that did the whole like buying warranties. And once that shit started, and the old guys never, because I think it started when they were still there. They knew me. They knew not to even ask for shit. I used to stay seeing them in the movies, and because they were all from that
Yeah.
neighborhood, and they were the coolest. Like I said, I bought sort of the Berserk, because dude was like, I was like, I got $8. I literally was like, I got $8. What Dreamcast game can I get with $8? And
Berserk was awesome on Dreamcast.
hell
too.
yeah, and he literally went. He was like, you can get this game. He was like, oh, what about Berserk? He was like, have you ever played? He was like,
Best anime of all time too. Just gotta say that.
yeah. Yo, and he was like, it's short, but for $8, he was like, this is gonna keep you entertained. He was like, I was like, you sure? He was like, I promise you. And yo, he went, and I love that game. I remember I played the
Bro.
shit out of fucking Sword of the
Damn.
Berserk. That was now
You're
you go in there,
taking
it's like,
me-
you ask, is this game any good? Yeah, it sucks. And like that's one response I got one time, and they give you like one word. They don't even want to talk to you. They don't like, or they talk to you like a parent, like you're one of these like parents that know nothing about video games. And they'll talk to you like you're an idiot. And I'm like, no, I know about this already. I just want to know, oh my
It's
god.
commissioned. If you're not there to make them some money, then they don't really care what you're there.
Hell yeah. Like I remember
Can't sell
some
you anything, sir.
Some girl walked in,
Yeah.
and we're talking about like 5 years after the fact. Some girl walks like, what's a 2-player game me and my boyfriend can play? He gave her Resident Evil 5. I was like, really? He just sold her Resident Evil 5? He was like, it's a great. I'm like, I mean, I guess co-op it was all right, but the game was mad. Oh, they were just like, here, take some used shit.
Wow, bro. I remember the guys from 106 GameStop calling me. I got a phone call when WWF Attitude already had it
Wow.
pre-ordered, and when
Jesus.
WWF Attitude got to the store, when they got the boxes in from UPS, he called me and was like, yo man, they got here. And I literally went on my bike from 126 and just went and got that shit. And I couldn't. That game is shit. Like it's like 50% shit, but it had a lot of content. Like it had a cool story. It had a lot of unlockable people. Like I remember playing that shit so much that I was hearing it in my sleep, and it was like a summertime where I didn't have shit to do but hang out. You know what I'm saying? It was just nothing but hanging out and playing that shit till like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But that's how cool they were. Now, bro, like it's
You can't go.
I
in
remember.
there.
I used to remember the good thing about. Remember the midnight releases? People used to wait online.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
for midnight
man.
releases. Like that's never gonna happen again unless the company says we're only gonna sell it physically. And even then, it still wouldn't have that. I don't think it'll have the same
yeah.
drop
Yeah.
like you used to have those midnight releases.
Like I said,
That was the shit.
Yeah, because I
man.
think I said a
But-
couple episodes ago that one of the dudes who knew me from what became GameStop, Halo 2 was dropping. That line was all the way around to 107th Street and around the corner, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm just gonna walk in, and I'm not waiting on this line." He was like, "Go in." He was like, he was like, I was like, "Oh shit, yo!" He let me ride. Oh, that shit was awesome. I was like, that's
Telling you that was the
yeah,
feeling.
you thought he had push. He was like, "Yeah, they don't know. I'm the fucking big dog around here."
yeah, because you had the two lines, the reserve line and the fucking just the scrub who didn't reserve shit line, and you
Wow,
just let
thanks.
me right in.
And I mean,
That was me too. I didn't reserve shit.
you know what's crazy? I don't think we take into account how much we like back then. You really valued like somebody who worked at a GameStop or Cyber Games. You value that person's opinion because gaming magazines back then, you saw the cover of the magazine like a Game Pro or EGM or Tips and Tricks. Tips and Tricks, you were going for the codes and shit, but walkthroughs or like articles, a lot of times you bought these magazines for a particular game. You know what I'm saying? It was those little side articles that said when games are coming out or this game from Japan is being released on this day. It wasn't as like it the way it is right now. It's like you see articles everywhere months in advance before, years in advance before shit drops. You already know more or less. Like I remember going to Cyber Games and seeing Rival Schools and being like, let me see that. Got it. It had the Capcom logo on it, right? I see it had nothing else but the word Rival Schools and like cool animation. Look at it. I'm like, oh shit, this shit looks sick. And Danny being like, yeah, that game is really good. Like that game is really, really good. Took that shit home and I could not, but like I was like, yo, this game is fucking fire. Like, how is this shit not like, where the fuck is this arcade? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll never forget when me and Mike walked into GameStop. This was before he worked there, and he was like, I had just bought Max Payne, and I was telling him, I liked it, and then so Mike walks in, he's like, which one is? He was like, and the Devil May Cry. I was like, wait, which one is better, Max Payne? And Dan was like, Devil May Cry. He was like, him and I forgot who was with him or whatever, but they're in sync. It was cool that he played fucking games or he like knew about them and shit. I was like, that was fucking fire.
I remember Mario that Christmas, he got Max Payne and Devil May Cry for Christmas.
Nice.
And brought them shits home, and he was like, yo man, I'm gonna knock out. And I was like, all right, cool. I opened Max Payne over Devil May Cry, and I fucking almost bodied that shit in one night. Like I was so wrapped up in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't feel like I could have that experience again, really. I'm never gonna just throw on a random game without knowing if it's actually hot or not. And I miss that. Now I know what I'm in for, and it kind of ruins the experience. I'm never gonna stumble upon a hot game again,
That's
unless I stumble on one from that era.
yeah, that's
Just drop $100 for it. That's all.
right. Just $70 plus tax would be alright.
Yeah, that's all.
You know why? Because I'm gonna go on fucking Kotaku, which I don't even know why. Because I don't even know why I do this shit anymore. But I'm gonna end up on Kotaku, and I'm gonna see fucking Luke Plunkett talking shit that don't even matter about a game that's actually good, because that's all he fucking does.
Them and their community. I was just there reading about Outriders because I saw Outriders Can't Catch a Break. I was like, I didn't even care about the article. I was like, I bet you everybody in the comments is talking mad shit because their whole community is like a bunch of uptight fucking assholes, it feels like, when it comes to games. And the first comment, of course, is, I'm baffled why anybody even likes this game. I'm like, it's a fucking shooter, bro. Like, it's
Baffled.
what are you baffled about? It has decent shooting. Yeah, I admit it's not perfect. It does have like a kind of too much of a linear design, but it's just fun. It's just plain fun to shoot shit, and people like that. That's it. It's not that hard.
Right.
It's a shooter. When it works well, and it has a skill tree and shit to work towards, and loot. Like,
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Seeing that everybody here is from like the New York area, everybody's very familiar with MNN, public access TV.
yes.
Back at
Yeah.
channel 16, 17,
What about
like
you guys? Yeah.
56 to 57.
Robin Bird
Back
all
in-
day. son.
Hey, Robin Bird.
That was 35. I remember that.
Speaking Spanish.
Yeah, speaking Spanish, yeah.
Dominican USA.
Yeah,
Yes.
for the Imperial. But there was a set of there was a game game show that aired on Fridays at like 11 p.m. and it was these young dudes from out here, and they used to play Dreamcast and PlayStation games and shit. It was like,
Oh, I never saw those.
Oh,
bro,
yeah?
that shit was. I remember them playing Power Stone and being like, "Yo, this shit looks fire."
When PS2 came out, they had like like they had the plug or wherever they used to go for Japanese like imports and shit. They always had that shit. And they would show them this was before YouTube, before any of this shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
a big, like, they were way ahead of the, like, I want to know who those guys are. Yeah, they were like a bunch of fucking project dudes, like from, I think they were from the projects down like by 90 something street.
I was
because-
actually certified to do a show on public access. You just go in, take a class, and then you can use their cameras and all that stuff.
I got the packet once, and I was gonna do because I had a camera from high school or some shit that they let me have for the whole semester. So I was gonna do. I didn't even know what I was gonna do, but I remember signing up for the packet, and they sent me the whole thing so you can start a show. But I never went through with it. But well, you know, it's we're kind of taking, you know, going long now on this. I wanted to just talk to you guys a little bit about the show, like because as you've been doing this for a while, right? Like I know you started with you used to do some Facebook videos and YouTube. Like how long you been doing this now with
What, podcasting?
Yeah, podcasting, all that shit.
I actually started podcasting in 2009. I started
Jesus.
on a website called talkshoe.com, and it was like you basically call your phone. You use your phone to call in, and you're the host, but you can have live callers. There was a chat and everything. The quality was horrific. I mean, real bad. But you know, people. It was, you know, it had its community, and it was saved into into a podcast. So yeah, since 2009, I've been podcasting on and off. You know, I originally started with the sports side of things, and it progressed from there to Idiot Sports Talk. And I was actually offered a few things, you know, over the years at that time, you know, when it was real early, to be a host for other sports shows and stuff like that. But I never did anything like that.
I wanted to ask you about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you because that you mentioned that on one of your episodes. Because like I said, I do listen every week. I drive a lot for work since I'm a technician, so I'm forever driving to a
you have
site.
a job. That's nice. That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah. Having a job is making money is cool, you know.
That's cool.
Should try it sometime.
I'm gonna try it again, but at some point.
But well, why you have mentioned that you didn't take it, and I remember you saying that, but why? Like what?
Well,
that sounds like the
go-to
dream
answer-
right there.
My go-to answer is this: I had a job at the time, and I used to say I have a job at work. I have a boss at work. I don't need a boss at my hobby.
Oh,
You know, that's what I
see.
used to always say. Like, if I'm gonna do something for somebody else, I
So
guess
young
I'm
and
Kojima.
naive.
I'm Kojima. Like, you know, I'm gonna suck my own dick at that point and be like, I'm not going in this to work. Like, I already have a boss. I'm not going in
Like
this
I can
to
suck my own dick. I'm not gonna suck yours. Okay, I
fuck
get
out of
it.
here. I'm here chilling. And hindsight, and a lot of other decisions was fucking stupid. Maybe I should have went to that realm and navigate.
Network,
you
like
know,
you said, you
or
gotta
stuck
have
with it.
friends. Yeah.
Now everybody has a podcast, and everybody, you know, and it's exploded. And I'm happy it's exploded, and we get so many different mediums that you're never gonna get on the mainstream through a podcast. And it's you know, intimacy that we have with your community or listeners and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, on and off. Shit, I can't believe it's what that's almost. Oh my, what, 12 years now? That's 12 years
Yeah.
on and off podcasting and stuff like that.
Nice.
And you know, and I've received wonderful emails and reviews and letters from people over the years, and built relationships off of podcasting. So, you know, I hope to continue in the future. Me and Marvin now. This is Marvin's really first time going around
Wait,
podcasting.
I wanted him to
for
talk.
us,
You
and
know.
hopefully we evolved and we find something that we can truly enjoy. We still find our we're pretty new to podcasting, right? Me and Marvin as a team. We've done about
Yeah,
what, 12 episodes, Marvin, or something like that at this point.
something around there.
And we're gonna probably have to change the name of the podcast because it just insinuates just me, Idiot Ezra Podcast. So at some point, me and Marvin gotta, come up with something, even though Marvin likes to be the mystery man, El Gumby himself.
How's it been for you? Because like I said, I've been listening since day one, and like I said, you definitely have grown a lot. Like honestly, like hearing like Marvin the first day was just kind of like talking, just like like how's it feel like being?
Well, you gotta remember, I stumbled across this. He was like, hey, you want to jump on the episode? I was like, all right, cool. I ain't doing shit. And then that's it.
I've been enjoying the dynamic, not for nothing. I've been because you're like a little more laid back, and Ezra's just
you don't know this shit that's been edited out.
Oh yeah, the shit that we did.
Oh my god,
that we've blown up at each other and all that stuff.
God.
Yeah, I
like,
mentioned the fight one time, but you didn't.
Oh, we got multiple fights.
Yeah, multiple arguments, but we didn't obviously publish that and stuff like that. But we learned you build the chemistry, like you guys, like you, Daniel, you're new into this. The more reps you do, the more episodes you do, is just reps. It's like anything else, like bodybuilding and stuff like that. You're gonna get better with it,
right?
Repetition, the muscle memory, and all that good stuff. And then for me, I've been doing it 12 years. I still wouldn't consider myself a veteran. I feel like I've made plenty of mistakes. I can barely read. I could barely pronounce anybody's name. So but that's my fault. That's part of the product when you're gonna listen to me. I'm gonna fuck shit up, and that's that's like I said, that's part of the value you get when I'm doing a show or something like that, and Marvin's there to correct me, which I need that.
That's cool. Like, and you've been enjoying yourself, Marvin?
It's been alright. I always got the barefoot on deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. The Riesling. Yeah,
the barefoot, the Ciroc is on deck. So that's it.
That's what's up.
You know what I think would be a great idea? I mean, it may not even happen, may not be possible. But I think that we need to join forces for one podcast, and we need to track down like more Cyber Games alumni. If we could get fucking Danny on a fucking video call and talk to him about those days, that shit would be sick.
That would be pretty awesome.
Shit,
with the power of Facebook and social networking,
we might know some people that know some people though.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like we might know people who are connected, and oh yeah, he's on my Facebook type shit. And be like, yo, man, we used to be in Cyber Games all the time. Get on our podcast. We talk about you all the time. That'd be sick.
That would be pretty fire. I would love to do something like that.
I think Marvin is the third longest tenured Cyber Games employee, right?
You know what? I could hit up Sammy. I know Sammy's on my Facebook, so maybe he knows something.
We all got Sammy on our Facebook.
Right? No, he's like
he's a thought. He's a thought.
Yeah, he is a thought.
But you're the third longest, right, Marvin, at Cyber Games? I would say, besides Sam and Roy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure how long Mizell was there.
Yeah, no, Mizell was there for a short period of time.
How long were you at Cyber Games, Mar?
I was there for a minute, like I'd say at least 5 years, maybe.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, I got like but I'm like, you were just like one of those guys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I ever talked too much at all when you worked there. Because I was kind of like in and out or meeting with people, or I talked to Sammy the most probably because I used to beg him for discounts or like, yo, I'll give you $20 for that shit. And then I played Final Fantasy 11 with Sammy. So after that was it. Oh man.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of history in that neighborhood that people don't talk about. So it's pretty cool to have other people who come from there able to just kind of talk shit about it because it's not documented. You'll never see it in like a fucking documentary. I don't know who has footage of those days. I'm about to start putting up post-its and like, do you have footage from this area? And like, leave my phone number.
I've met Marvin through video games on arcades. I imagine I met Jose through video games.
Yeah, we met on 97th Street.
97th Street on the arcades.
Same place.
Same place. My other boy that I consider my brother also, Gregory. He used to play on that, on 97th. Like, it's crazy how I found family on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Playing video games. I found family through that. So, I know sometimes video games gets its, shitted on, but it really does sometimes have a positive impact in, our lives. And obviously, entertainment value.
No, it's true because it's like, I mean, I don't know if I made too many friends like on the street from the game, even though I knew a lot of faces and, I said what up to a lot of people
because
you had a
standing bitch face in the hood. You should just walk around with this face, like.
Who, me?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Who else we're talking about?
Yeah. Absolutely. Because no, forever people would think I'm like upset. They're like, "Why are you mad?" I'm like, I'm mad.
It's just my face.
It
I'm
worked.
all right. I'm fine. I remember, yeah. People like, yeah, I remember when I worked at McDonald's for a while, and I remember the manager there, after we got tight, he's like, when you first started, people didn't like you. They all thought you were like angry or you were too good for this place, and that's just your face. I was like,
It's just your face.
Shit.
you just look angry.
He's trying to be a nice guy about it, and he just insults.
Hey, I mean,
It's just your face.
it's true. I mean, even my kids sometimes they'll be like, why is Daddy mad? I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm all right.
And that's what gets you mad.
Like, now I'm angry.
Now I'm angry. Like, no, you were mad already. No.
You were tight.
Don't try that bullshit.
You were just angry. Nah, fuck you. Oh man. All
All
right.
right, so I got a question for y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna say it correctly, but how much pressure do y'all think Sony really had to keep the MLB license when they re-upped it last year?
I mean, that's kind of like I don't, that's hard to say. Like, those games are so fucking complicated. I stopped playing them years ago.
But
So-
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it must be a moneymaker for them. Like, it must be significant enough that they figured, hey,
I think what's significant about it is, like, obviously we know about the big news that the show dropped on Game Pass.
Right.
I think he's talking about that kind of pressure. Like Major League Baseball, I think was the
Right.
one that really
They said it though.
obviously was the one that pushed it.
Yeah, they said it. I mean, it's official. Officially, Sony
Yeah,
blamed MLB.
Mhm.
Oh, so
did
you
they?
said like, yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure that.
Alright.
Well,
That's
go ahead.
all right. So basically, what I was saying is, I honestly don't think they needed to, like, once MLB was like, hey, yeah, these old contracts that we used to have, these first party contracts that we used to do, yeah, that's out the window. We're doing the NFL, NBA shit, and this is how much it's gonna be. And if you ain't paying that much, then you need to go multi-plat. Once that offer was on the table, I think Sony had leverage enough to walk away from it and do their own thing unlicensed.
you think so?
I mean, I can hit y'all off with the information, but I want to see what y'all think.
Unlicensed games don't go anywhere in the sports world.
Yeah, listen, not without a license, I don't think they would have gotten anywhere with the
Oh,
baseball
Just
game.
can't.
All right, but you got to realize,
Like 2K was murdered. Their whole football side, which I think was better than Madden, got completely shattered because they lost a license. That was it.
yeah, but you're comparing two different things. All right,
Oh.
it's like people like to compare it to the football thing, but it ain't. Cause
I'm just
big-
saying, like 2K had a great football system. I thought it was better than Madden. I loved it.
Can't wait to that
yeah,
comes
but
out.
you got to remember, once they lost the license, it's not like 2K kept coming out. They disappeared for 2 years.
Well, yeah, I
then-
mean they tried, but
And then when they came back, it had less features than Madden. It didn't have a
Yeah.
franchise mode.
yeah,
And once that failed, like, they ain't even try to improve it for the next run. They just said, all right, fuck it, we're done.
yeah, because they saw no one's gonna buy. No one wants to play
But-
the fucking. No one wants to be the San Diego Lighters or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but you got to remember, with baseball, it's nobody uses the license. Like, literally, nobody fucking uses the license. The only people that use the license is Out of the Park, which is like some manager shit. That's on PC, if I'm not mistaken. And RBI Baseball, which is literally baseball's own fucking video game, because nobody else will pay for the fucking license.
But there are no other baseball games at all, really, right?
Yeah,
No,
the show is the only one.
Yeah,
On the
that's what I'm
console.
saying.
the show and RBI are the only yearly actual baseball games. Like, you
Look-
got Super Mega Baseball, but that's like every couple years.
Wait, so is
But
the
that one
show?
comes
Does the
out.
show have microtransactions in it?
I'm pretty sure it does.
I was gonna say probably.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
because I'm like, I mean, because like the way Sony's going, again, it's like it needs to be making like big money. So like you said, if they were probably saying, like you said, I think because of the changes that we're already seeing, I'm sure that's probably what it was. Like, we want X amount of dollars for this game. Sony knows it's not going to sell. They don't even sell that much. But even though they probably, I would think they do, because it's the only
It's the
baseball game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only baseball game, but you realize they they don't really, they still don't sell that much. Like at best, I would say 3, 2 to 4 maybe.
2 to 4
I want
mil.
to see what the
Million
numbers
we're
are.
Because
talking about?
you
Yeah,
never
what is
see
that?
Oh,
you
What
never
is
see any
attachment to it?
announcements where they say like, oh, the show sold 5 million copies this year.
yeah.
Like,
Obviously,
there's zero.
I don't think the show's up there with Madden or the 2Ks
Oh
in the
no,
world.
nowhere near
Yeah.
that.
Nowhere near
No.
that. But I think that's just an indication of how.
But I'm saying they
But,
don't
like, I
sell
don't-
5 million copies. You know
Like
what I'm
granted,
saying?
like I'm not like completely in the sports gaming world, but like I don't hear a ton too much about like FIFA. But I know the numbers that FIFA's doing are insane.
Yeah, it's the
on
biggest one, right? I
on
think
the
FIFA's the
DLC
biggest
side
one, right?
of things. But like the just upfront, sales of the game, you wouldn't think it's anything spectacular. You'd be like, all right, it's a normal FIFA game. So
I don't know. I
it's-
just think having a sports license period is just valuable. Maybe they just, I don't know.
yeah.
It's
I think-
valuable,
No,
but
it
I
is.
think they
It
just
is.
had the leverage because they're literally the best baseball game.
I don't think baseball.
Period.
I don't know if baseball even cares about that.
I was gonna say that it's the
Them
name.
being
If
the best.
you go to like Tencent or you just give any developer the name, the Yankees, you say, yeah, you can use our name and our likeness in your game. That game is gonna sell, even if it's a shit game. At least the
Um,
first version will.
All right, so you think if RBI baseball would have
license
been
it?
the only one with the official license, that it would just blow up
Nah, it's got to be a
when
good
it's
game
a
still.
when it's a shit game?
It's still got to be a good game.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah, it still has to be solid. But if there's no other option because no one else can license it, then yeah, it's gonna be.
No, I'm saying
it's
there's
gonna
no
be
other
going-
option because nobody pays for the
I think
license.
I think it's because nobody bought the damn game because
Yeah.
the numbers well it doesn't not all the numbers are out. So 19 and the show 19 and 20 don't even show, but the last this is on Wikipedia. On Wikipedia showing the show 18 only sold 1.6 million, and that was down 100,000 from the previous year.
Next year. So it's not a big seller at all.
Yeah, so I think
No,
think
yeah.
they probably wanted more money. They said
what are
fuck
the
you
DLC
and
numbers like?
oh I don't know.
I want to see those numbers. to
Oh
see,
like their
if-
microtransactions.
Because that's what I'm saying. Is
That's
Sony
true,
Like, yeah, you
that's-
can't
that's
give
the
that up
real-
Because,
yeah.
that's where the money's. That's not the upfront money. That's
But
nothing.
like I said, I think basically baseball could come, go to the negotiating table with multiple aspects, saying, "Hey, we'll give you the same price for the license to deal if you continue, producing your game, but also,
Oh, who
let it
knows
go
if
multi-plat." But I have a real question for you. Me and Marvin had an argument. Well, not an argument. We had a heated thing. You know about March Madness. We'll end the show on this if you like, Daniel.
yes, go ahead.
So you know about March Madness. You know about the brackets and all that stuff, like first seed versus the 16th
Oh
seed
man,
and
don't
stuff
come
like
up with
that.
this bullshit. We know who won.
That was some bullshit though. So they came out with a candy bracket. So it would be like the first seed was let's say
Starburst.
Skittles. It was Starburst was second seed. So it'd be like
Ah.
second so it'll be Starburst versus like nerds and et cetera, and you advance to the championship and you versus each other. I just want to know this final here. I don't really care about the whole bracket. Gummy bears versus Snickers. Who's winning? I just want to hear your votes from every single one of you.
Gummy bears versus Snickers. Who's
Yeah.
winning?
Now, wait. Now, one last thing.
Snickers.
One last thing I want to mention is every other candy here is a specific brand. It is a known brand of candy.
I don't care
Gummy-
what brand it is.
Gummy Bears is the only one that it's just some generic fucking name.
It doesn't matter. I don't care what brand you
Oh,
pick.
whatever,
should not
man.
pick Snickers. It
Can
should
I
not
can
be
I get to my shit? Thank you.
Because gummy with the I at the end might be Hasbro, right, or whatever.
Yeah,
Not Hasbro.
Which
whatever.
Marvel would pick? Hasbro's the
what
best.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
is
not
that
Haribo.
brand, Haribo, that
Hasbro.
brand is the brand of gummy bears that I am judging against, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that against Snickers.
He
It
had
just
he had gummy bears. Not only him. Let's not put it on Marvin because multiple people voted for this on while we were doing this. Gummy bears beat M&M's, Twix,
Twix ain't shit.
Yeah, Twix ain't shit.
better than anything. Is gummy bears? There's no taste to it. There's nothing to
I was
it.
gonna say,
don't-
but
got-
that's such a weird comparison. It's chocolate, caramel, and nuts
it
compared
doesn't
to.
matter. It's just a candy
You-
bracket.
You
All right,
obviously
fine,
don't
fine,
have
fine.
Haribo gummy bears, my
So-
guy.
I'm just saying, you think any candy bar that you probably think is one of your favorites is beating gummy bears is winning that battle?
Not for me. I think I would pick
I mean,
Snickers.
for the most part, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah. For me, Snickers would be where it's at.
Snickers
I
absolutely.
just wanted to, I just find it mind-boggling that gummy bears won this on our podcast. and we were just going ham on it because we went through the breakdown. Who would win this round, that round? So it beat,
Now
Gummy Bears
worms.
overtook it like Hershey's. What is it? Not Hershey's. They beat Reese's Cups. They beat all these types of candies.
That's crazy.
No, gummy bears did not face against Reese's
Sour
Cups,
gummy
guy.
worms though would probably
No, they
might
didn't.
beat Snickers for me if that was the matchup.
Really? Yeah.
I like sour gummy worms. I don't know those.
No,
are
it
sh-
wasn't sour. It just said gummy.
No,
gummy
I know. I'm
bears.
just saying, like, if that was the like a regular candy versus like a chocolate bar, like I don't know. I don't really care about gummy bears. I don't know. I don't.
I think they're like
You
they're
haven't
okay.
had the right gummy bears, man.
I've had the Haribo. Aren't those the harder
Yeah.
ones?
No.
Haribo.
Nah.
Oh,
nah,
those
nah.
are-
the normal
They're
ones.
the gold bag ones. You know the
Oh,
gold
Yeah,
bag.
those are.
These gummy bears are
aren't
the
hard.
only candy that I've seen that have a review that, like, tell you how bad the diarrhea after having them was. Like multiple reviews.
That was a specific terrible brand of.
Just saying, dog. I've never read that about a Snickers.
I don't know. I gotta try. I gotta have. Maybe I haven't had gummy bears in a long time. I don't know.
They're not that good.
I don't know. We was just having a battle on that. I just want to hear your opinion. Snickers or gummy bears, the final matchup.
That shit is
Who will win?
Snickers, not yo. Look, listen, on Halloween, let's fucking stop it,
You
all right?
wanna fight?
Let's fucking stop it. On Halloween, when you went around the Upper West Side, going to all them buildings on Riverside and Central Park where the good candy was, whenever you saw a bucket full of Snickers, that's how you knew you hit the jackpot. You didn't see gummy worms and get hype.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't see gummy worms and go,
bears,
fuck
yeah.
yes, Halloween is saved. No, you see them. You saw Three Musketeers, Snickers, like chocolate bars. You're like, oh
That
nah.
golden
This is-
nugget and
I just had to
peanuts
bring it
and
up because
chocolate
Marvin's
bar.
got that win. And
Listen,
and it's bothering
listen,
me all
man,
week.
I feel disappointed in all of you guys, but it's okay.
I fuck with Haribo fucking gummy bears. You
That's
know,
what I'm
they've been in the
saying,
game
like-
a long time.
Yeah.
I just, you know,
They
a Snickers.
wouldn't be in
is-
my top 4 or top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like,
it's not in my
like
top 5 candies. You know
Not-
what I'm saying?
Man,
not
the
gummy
regular
bears.
and the sour are fire. I don't know
maybe
what
the
the hell y'all
sour. Maybe I
talking
fuck
about.
with you with the
Mood for it,
sour.
man. Very situational.
I don't know.
I mean, top 5 candies is gonna be like Snickers,
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cups,
Like where am I? I
um,
want
Reese's was the
I
number
think
one,
like
the
the
number
movie
one
theaters.
seed.
a Twix. You know what I'm
Twix.
saying? If we're gonna go for 2 more candies, I'm gonna say fucking Swedish Fish and Peanut Chews. That's
Oh,
I don't know about Swedish
hell no!
Fish.
Now I know you're garbage. Peanut chews?
I think
You don't like peanut chews?
You don't like peanut chews?
Fam,
Yo, peanut chews was
fam,
bangers.
fam.
Peanut
top
chews are
five?
fire. What are you talking
That's the
about?
best 5 cents you ever
Top
spent in your
5.
life.
Yo,
bro.
when I go
Where
to
did you
Party
grow
City, I
up?
Top
stay
5.
fucking.
Where did you grow up?
Top
Where did
5.
You grow up.
Have you seen the Chicos?
For me,
before? I'm about to
Top
blow your mind,
5?
for me personally, I love
bro. Fuck it.
peanut chews. Them shits
Peanut
get
chews was
body.
bangers, yeah.
But
Nah.
I've never felt that way about a fucking gummy bear in my life.
I never felt that way about a peanut chew. Peanut
The
chew was
chews
when
are
I,
peanut
peanut
Snickers.
chew was when I was just broke as shit, and I was just like, "All you got is those 5 cents. All right, let me get a peanut chew. Fuck it."
It's like a
Give me that.
miniature Snickers, but stickier somehow.
Yo, gummy bears are like the throwaway. Them shits are at the bottom of the bag, dusty with like plastic stuck to it, and you toss them shits in the garbage on Halloween.
I treat peanut chews the same way I treat beer. I just don't have them.
Oh, but you see, that's the problem. I like beer.
Yeah.
There's a
said
lot
the
of
way
beer
I
fans.
treat. The way
Alright.
I treat.
Now we're gonna do a poll for this podcast. All right, beer versus peanut chews. Who wins?
I'd
Probably
go
have
with
a
peanut
beer
chew.
over the
I-
peanut
Yeah, I
chew.
think I'll drink some beer. You don't get drunk over peanut chews or tipsy or nothing.
Nah, I'm going with the peanut chews. I'm not a big
seeds or gummy
beer
bears?
person.
Which one? Sunflower seeds or gummy bears?
Sunflower seeds. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Gummy bear.
Hey, I'm going with gummy bears on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sunflower
Even
seeds
though-
be
What about
cracked though.
crybabies versus gummy bears?
Crybaby? Oh shit.
Crybabies hit you with that sour, and then you got to the gum, and you had like that 20 seconds of intense bitter flavor.
I say
Maybe over the
gummy bears just
regular,
'cause
not the sour.
the crybabies. I can only have like 1 or 2 of those, and I'm finished. I can't.
Let me tell you.
So
So gummy bears took out M&Ms, took out
that's
Twix,
crazy.
and it took out Starburst, I believe.
Oh, no,
not
that's-
over
that's a-
Starburst.
That's
like,
fucking bananas, bro. This, they're,
That's what I'm
who
saying.
are
My
these
mind-
people?
I was gonna say I need names.
My
right
mind
now.
was blown when this happened.
over
I need- I need-
Marvin's got the
Starburst
win.
though,
Marvin's got the
like
win.
I don't know.
Starburst, bro. Come
Or
on,
how
man.
about Starburst versus Nowalators?
I'm going
Starburst? I'm going Starburst
Starburst.
because now laters are hard.
They
Man,
changed, right? They're mad different too now. That's the other
yeah.
thing.
Back when
I
they were
didn't
the
have
5
those.
for like 25 cents, and them shits were mad sticky. Now laters were always kind of like, you know,
Or taffy.
they, yeah. But again, Starburst, that's Starburst all the way, bro. Especially when they released the all pink Starburst.
Oh yeah,
the
no,
whole pack
Starburst
was
is
all pink.
definitely
Come on.
crack. Yeah.
You're not
Well,
fuck
and
with
What
that.
flavor was that mystery one? That mystery one is crack.
I think in the near future on the podcast, me and Marvin are going to try to set up a. I don't know if you are familiar with drafts, like sports drafts or like an NFL draft, because it's happening soon. We might want to do a cereal draft, like a cold cereal draft. Who will be your first, second, or third pick in a draft?
For
And, you know,
cereal? Oh shit.
So we extend the invite for a future episode to
Oh
have
hell yeah!
our own cereal draft.
I want to be a part of
and
that.
see.
I want to be a part of that. I already got my top 5. Don't fuck with me.
Listen,
In a draft, you don't
I'm-
get your top
I'm-
5. You
gonna
hope
say,
it falls
you
down to you.
Listen, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
telling
got a
you,
top 5. I'm hoping that I get.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the #1 seed out the West. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You can keep it. You can keep
You already
it
know
so
his
close
number one, his
friends,
first
bro.
rounder.
You can
So
have
Damn,
that.
Yeah.
also I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, so I don't know. I fucks
Cinnamon
with
Toast,
it.
I think is a lot of people's high. I think that's gonna be like a top 3 overall
Really?
pick.
For
Oh,
me,
you going
yeah.
That many people, really? Yeah.
You don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Like, that
is the
shit's
shit,
so
yo.
crack
It's
to me.
alright. It's not all that.
All
It's
right.
okay.
Oh,
Nah, that shit is
no.
crack.
Your
I'll take
your
Cinnamon Life
cereal
over
draft is
Cinnamon
gonna.
Toast
It sounds
Crunch.
like
Life over Cinnamon
terrible.
Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Life? Fuck yeah.
He
What
said
the
Cinnamon
fuck?
Life.
Cinnamon Life is crack.
I don't know.
Well,
I gotta
listen,
try me
I
a
got
bowl of
some
that.
hidden bangers too. I shouldn't say this
I was gonna
before
say,
the
I'm not even-
cereal draft, but Special K fruit and yogurt banger. Okay,
Yeah.
straight
I
hitter.
don't know if I have fruit and yogurt. No, I think I only had the red
Frosted
berry.
berry.
Shredded mini wheats. I'm good.
Those are banging.
The Special K fruit and
Frosted
yogurts are
Shredded mini
bangers.
wheats.
I don't know if
It
it's gonna
is.
be my first round pick because no one knows it, so I can probably let it slide. But you know,
We
forget
can give,
about this.
We can give games grape nuts. I think.
Grape nuts.
What?
You get grape nuts.
Grape nuts are alright. I wouldn't. I don't think I want grape nuts though.
That's all we leaving for you, dog.
Nah.
Nah.
Cap and Crunch, baby. Not the peanut butter kind.
Oh,
But
I was
regular
gonna say
Cap'n
nah.
Crunch.
Well, damn.
Save it for the draft, guys.
Alright,
Save it for
alright,
the draft.
alright.
Don't
So,
give your
yes.
ideas out.
So I
Don't give
think
your ideas
So
out.
many.
this is good. This was good. But yeah, I think this is good to end. We had a great discussion. Thank you so much, guys, for being on here. I had a great time.
Yeah, for real, man.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
We
this-
will
Hey,
do this
guys.
again. We gotta do it again.
Yeah, we definitely got to do it again, especially when it's when Sony eventually definitely fails in the future, and then we can get Marvin's thoughts.
It's cool, man. I'll throw my cap on, my cape on, and I'll protect as need be. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Can't wait till Stadia has a mainstream system.
Right? Stadia next year, baby. It's gonna be on top.
Stadia and Game Boy merge.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Great
This shit-
The cloud handheld, it'll be the Game Boy Factor that plays cloud games.
It's gonna
Oh
be the number
shit!
one brand in
What if it's a
video
Game Boy
games.
Stadia?
plays every
That's what I'm
game
saying. A Game Boy
ever.
Stadia.
Stadia Game Boy. That'd be
Oh
awesome.
shit!
Fucking fire.
That would be
Stadia Game Boy edition. Can't wait, baby.
that new Nintendo Switch Lite looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
Old school Super Nintendo colors.
Oh yeah.
All that.
But yeah, that's it. I think we'll wrap it up here. Ezra, you definitely gotta invite us. I'm ready for that cereal bowl. And
Let's go, baby.
yeah,
Down.
that's it from me.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right. take it
Later,
easy.
guys.
All right.